last time, uh, agreeing agreeing to help Estinian and Sir Emmerich with a task um, that was a little bit secretive, one that they couldn't tell you about until you agreed to help. You quickly found that you were going to take on a secret enclave of dragons that were attacking the airships. Um, and the benefit of which would be that the airship routes would once again be opened, and you would be able to use them for free. Um, so the plan is to go as a small group quietly towards a stronghold in Falgord Float, which is the northern shroud. Um, why am I lost? You were writing last week's, right?
Yes.
Did you post it already?
No.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
I was just making sure I didn't forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been busy this week. Who's writing this week? Is it Eric?
Either me or Eric, I guess.
Somebody let me know. Anyway,
In order, it would be me, but if he wants to jump in, he can. So.
if it's you, then go ahead, because you're here from the beginning. So you could write this week.
Well, it's me, Eric, Christian.
Yeah.
Michael,
I took Eric's spot, so technically this is my week again. So I could do
No.
I could do a second one if you
No, we just skipped Eric.
Yeah.
And he can slot in somewhere. But why don't we just
Okay, so
have Poe do it?
Gotcha.
Okay. So anywho, you got some things done around town. Talked to a few people. Millie messed around with Estinian. Oh, that sounds terrible. Millie rode Estinian. That's worse. Millie rode Estinian's shoulders to jump onto a statue to deface it, and then jump towards the airship landing. I didn't even get any kind of reaction from Jimmy for that.
No, I made a face.
It was all
when
Oh,
with
I didn't
messing around with the Stinian.
You all gathered together at the airship landing, boarded the airship, and took off. Met with some disdain by some of the Ishgardian army that was on board. They were messing around a bit. They didn't seem too keen on your presence, but they definitely fell in line when Sir Emmerich told them to get to their stations and start working. A ways into your flight, about 2.5, 3 hours into your flight, they spotted something in the distance, a distortion of sorts.
Kind of a sassy crewmate. The crewmate that made fun of Deus for having the goggles and looking.
Yes.
Gondolin.
Gondolin, yes. Spotted a distortion. Turns out that distortion may have just been a distraction while the main force of dragons that were planning to attack you, invisibly, I might add, started to assault the crew members on your ship, and then the ship itself. And Estinian, calling upon the magic of an ice-shaped relic that was embedded in his armor, was able to dispel the illusion that was surrounding the dragons. And then you got into combat with them. There was some close calls, but you managed to take out several of the dragons, but not before they dealt critical damage to the ship, at which point the ship began plummeting from the sky. Not directly downwards, but more like an uncontrolled descent. Let's call it that. Yes. And that's actually where we're going to pick up. Let me get to the appropriate music for this. As I was mentioning earlier, this right here is going to represent your airship, this little clothespin that's sitting there. When it gets to the ground, on the bottom here, that's when it hits the ground. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I knew that was going to happen.
Wow,
I knew
that's
that
not
was going to happen.
foreshadowing.
All right, well, now you have 3 rounds.
Oh no.
I knew that was going to happen. Yes, like that. So you have 6 rounds to do whatever you're going to do.
You just clip it to each level.
I could, but that's too easy. Okay. Oh, music.
Just need to do the music from the Alice in Wonderland cartoon where she's tumbling down the rabbit hole. Just play it on loop until we hit the ground.
Where's my ominous music?
No. And for our remote viewers, this brown circle is the hole from the boulder that did not go all the way through the ship. The gray circle is the hole the dragon made that did go all the way through the ship. And that was the damage that did knock us out of the air, because we were stable before that.
A boulder goes wherever he wants to on the ship.
There's a crew member that came up from below, missing like the half of his body. Like his arm was completely gone on the left side of his body, and he came up saying that they were not doing well down there.
What was the original crew complement of the ship?
20 crew members, approximately 20 crew members, not including you, Estinian, and Emery. Where are you? God damn it.
That right there.
No, not that.
But then Mr. Bucket comes and saves the day. He enlarges to supersize, and we all just float in Mr. Bucket.
I have a particular song set up for this. Where the fuck did it go?
I thought you were going to say you had a particular set of skills.
For killing my players.
Well, I have that too.
Where did we leave off in the initiative order?
I don't recall.
Well, the dragon's
It was-
just the damage, so it was the top of the order.
Let me see. I have it written down. Yes.
Yeah, so
At
we
the top of the order, then Deus, Sherbin, Fifi, Kevin, Sid, Millie, and then I guess it would be Omega and Gendo after that. I just want you to know, this is 6 rounds, but it's probably going to go faster than you think. Okay.
The chicken was over here shooting the cannon, right?
Did you ask me a question?
Talking to myself.
I found the appropriate answer. I'm going to have to spend like several hours remaking my playlist, so that's going to be fun.
That's so gross. No way it's like stored on a computer and you can just drag and drop?
Nope. Here we go. Music. Okay. Go.
Are we going in order?
Technically you're not
Where were
in
you,
combat.
Jimmy? Do you remember?
Where it was? I was right about here, because I was
Right.
running towards the hole.
As you
Gotcha.
began falling, all of the dragons that were attacking you opted for safety, since you were hurting them previously. They opted to just let you fall.
What about the one that was speared?
Backed off. What was that?
What about the one that was speared?
The one that was speared is being trailed behind the ship as it falls. At
Yeah,
the
because
moment.
it was around, the gun was over here, so it's dangling down, and then...
Well, it's not dangling. The ship is falling, and it's now like up here limp.
Yeah, but I mean,
Like
that's
being
so
pulled
where
by
it
the-
was
yeah.
pre-fall, so then now it's just a kite.
More or less. Looks like it died of its wounds.
So it's definitely dead.
Very lazy.
Indeed.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that-
they can't. Go ahead.
The dragon's
Jess.
definitely dead that we pooed.
Is it just me, or can we not hear Jess?
She
No,
said
you
the
got-
dragon's definitely dead.
I can hear
As
you.
far as
just
you can
fine.
tell at the moment, you want to spend some time checking that out?
I'm
I
not-
would like to spend 7 rounds investigating the dragon.
Like 2.
It just
Is
looks
it
dead.
useful for you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
So, do I see any? Do I see any parachutes below deck?
No. You were below deck before, and so is Omega, because you guys weren't here last week. So the two of you, I'm assuming, were below deck. You saw a boulder fall through the center of the ship and land and crack the hull, but not go all the way through. It was kind of like acting like a stopper, but it crushed a couple of the Ishgardian army while you were down there, one of which lost an arm. That's the one that came upstairs to talk to y'all. Then, as you moved out from the front of the ship to help people that were midship, a dragon just destroyed the front of this ship and it went all the way through. It dive bombed through. So you guys moved away just in time, basically, without knowing. Magic.
Would Genbu then be towards this end?
No, they'd be near the middle because they were over here. This is where they were resting underneath the
Right.
below deck. So like right near the front. So they moved midship to help people.
But midship below deck?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm just putting Genbu on his side to show that he's below deck.
Okay.
How dare you?
Yes. Alright. So Omega and Genbu, neither of you saw anything by way of parachutes here. There are wind crystals that were wind and fire crystals that were stored at the back of the ship. If you got over there, you have no idea what you might use them for. Up to you. Other than that, yeah, what would you like to do? I'm actually going to let the two of you act first because you didn't do anything last week. And I need to blow my nose almost. So. Go ahead.
Genbu is going to sprint toward the hole and dive headfirst out of it, like a torpedo.
Like, legitimately?
Legitimately, yes.
And then to get the, so this is where we're at. Then this one, or this one, then this one.
Because he can feel that the ship is still moving forward and down at the same time. So he knows if he jumps out, he'll be clear of it.
Right, because you're going straight down, it's going like that.
Yeah. Alright. Genbu runs over here, swan dives out, just like pieces out.
Very graceful. What?
Omega watches this happen, puts a hand on her chest, and goes, "We'll never forget you, Benbow." And then we're gonna run upstairs.
Venmo. Okay. Infield single.
Yeah, she's gonna run upstairs and specifically look and see if there's a dragon nearby.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
doing what? You're running upstairs? Can you turn up Dylan?
He said she's running upstairs to see if there's a dragon nearby.
Yeah.
Okay. The only dragon that you see nearby, there are several of them way high above you. And then there's one that's being dragged by your ship with a harpoon sticking through it, and it seems to be limply falling with you.
Got it. Cool. I'm gonna hop on that dragon.
How?
I'm gonna run and jump on it.
Okay, so it's like 50 feet above you, being trailed by a rope with a harpoon stuck through it. Are you going to climb up the rope?
Yeah. I'll climb up the rope.
Can you roll an athletics check, please?
Absolutely. It's a 17.
I just want to clarify.
Yeah,
the dragon
that's a
appears to be dead.
wild
You
monster.
still want to do this?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't take its wings for my own.
All plan?
Amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sure. What'd you get, 17? You all see Omega emerge from below and just start climbing up the rope of the harpoon. It's not necessarily completely taut, so it's not the easiest thing to do. But with the weight of an
Carnival
airship
game,
pulling
rope
it down,
bridges,
huh?
the carnival rope bridges.
Yeah, that's more or less what's going on. With a 17, you successfully climb up, but not until next round. You'll get to it by the end of next round, because 50 feet.
That's perfect.
Okay. Now the rest of you on the deck, what would you like to do?
So that was, so it's Deus, then, so what was the initiative so we can make sure we're not-
Deus, Sherbin and Fifi were simultaneous. Kevin, Sid, Millie, and then it would have been Omega and Genbu at one initiative. For initiative.
Okay, so Deus has the floor.
You're not in combat. I do want to stress that at the moment. So this could be fluid. You don't necessarily have to go by initiative order.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide down the rigging to the deck,
Okay?
go below, and try to scope out who's injured, who can I help
Okay.
from the NPCs to
Okay.
get them back up the deck.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Two.
Okay. Of the eight infantry, I guess would be them. They're knights. The 8 knights that were below decks prior to this fight starting. Only 2 are standing, and one of which is missing an arm. That's the one that came.
Oh,
up.
that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he came back down. So there's one alive that's standing and looks to be trying to like dig people out from rubble, and there's one who's severely injured, bleeding everywhere, and also trying to help. And then wherever the other 6 are, they're either crushed underneath debris or they fell through the ship or what might.
Okay, but they're not there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Am I able to maybe patch up that one guy that's bleeding?
What kind of skill? You're using a medicine skill?
Yeah. But yeah, medicine, yeah.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check. Okay. While that's happening, Sherbin and Fifi well, Eric's not here, so just go ahead, Sherbin, if you'd like. What do you get?
6. I'll have to amputate.
With the ship moving around and jostling and falling and gravity now like trying to take you off your feet, at certain points you don't have an easy task of patching up this soldier, and they just break away from you and say, leave me be, and yeah, they go try to help him pull people out with one arm.
All right.
Kevin's gonna scream out. I don't think the ship's flying anymore. Can someone turn that thing on?
Okay, Sherbin, what about you?
Okay. Well,
You had that all week to plan.
Plan we
Sherbin's kit doesn't really have anything prepared for falling out of the sky. She's going to look around and scream for Emmerich. She wants to know where Emmerich is.
Okay, you actually spot him. He's mid-deck, and he was shielding, or attempts to be shielding, with some kind of paladin special ability. Several of the knights behind him who had taken some kind of damage during the initial skirmish. And that ability appears to be dissipating now, as you see the giant blue wings that he was exhibiting before have now kind of just turned to nothingness. Ethereal, like scattered ethereally.
Okay. So Sherbin's going to carefully make her way towards them. Can she cast Mass Healing Word again, but not with a shield, just regularly for the NPCs?
What's the range?
60 feet. She can hit 6.
Okay. Sure. Well, the ones that are being protected, by Emmerich, only 3 or 4 of which are showing like major wounds. The others seem to be harmed slightly. Not that you can really see, but within that radius, one of the people that's below deck, the one that was bleeding out of his no longer arm, is there. So you could potentially get him with your mass healing word.
Ooh, awesome.
Hey.
Next command center.
Good guy.
She's also going to be yelling at Emmerich. Emmerich? Sir Emmerich, what's the plan? What
Brace
is this?
yourself.
Brace ourselves? That's the plan you have for this emergency? Brace ourselves?
You see his composure appears to be breaking for the first time since you met him. Okay. Anything else for Sherbin?
She's going to make her way, or try to make her way back to where Sid is.
So Sid's over here. That would be your next turn, because you
Okay.
moved over there and you did an action. So
Okay.
if we're going
Okay.
by combat rules for timing, then that's where you are.
Okay.
Fifi, perfect timing. What would you like to do?
Did no one announce anything for me yet?
No, we just got to your initiative.
Okay. I guess Fifi will. Who's nearby Fifi?
Assuming you were there amongst the throng, Sid's there.
Sid, Professor Gale,
Yeah,
Kevin's
Millie's over
nearby.
here. Yeah.
Millie's about, what, 30 feet? 30 feet-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Sherman should be over there in the middle.
Yeah, below decks, right?
No, she's not
Mel-
below deck. She's on
Okay.
top.
Millie's 30 feet away.
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna have Professor Gale fly over to Millie, and then I'm gonna cast Fly on Millie through Professor Gale.
Okay. So Professor Gale encircles Millie, and then dissipates back away from Millie. But Millie, you feel like you can fly now. You somehow have knowledge of being able to fly. Okay. Next up would be Kevin.
He looks over towards Sherwin. Hey, Sherwin, ship's not flying. By the way, how much do you weigh?
She's like 60 feet from you right now, by the way.
I'm screaming across the deck. I don't want to be rude.
But how much do you weigh?
How much do you weigh?
I need to know before I die.
Are you gonna answer?
I wrote this down. Yeah, what was it? What was pounds in Final Fantasy XIV language?
Onzes.
Onzes?
Isn't that ounces?
Ponzi schemes?
No. Ons is ounce, pounds is pound.
So, what? Kevin, what do you need to...
And that.
86 ponzes.
That's light enough. And I start moving my way over towards Sherwin.
Okay, so move Kevin over to Sherwin. He can get there in one turn. If he's just moving, he's not acting. So.
Pretty much, yeah.
Again, we're playing loosey-goosey because we're not actually in combat. All right, Sid.
Well,
The initiative up here.
I like that.
I am still completely frozen, staring at Spooky Sid. Yeah, he's there. And at the moment, Spooky Sid will stroll on over to real Sid, smile, and haul off and just smack him right across the face.
Okay. Wait. Spooky Sid smacked you?
Yeah.
Okay. Immediately after that happens, Spooky Sid dissipates.
Gone.
He's no longer there.
Nope. And then that seems to snap real Sid out of whatever haze he was in.
Okay.
And he immediately starts looking around, trying to assess the situation. Emmerich, did nobody has nobody thought about falling from the middle of the sky?
What do you intend us to do about it?
Not.
Stop believing in gravity.
We're not flying. We're falling with style.
I think only a Athenian gets to make that claim. The rest of us gotta roll for it.
Is there anything that can be done to slow us, or try to repair?
I'm thinking. Let me think. That's all he says.
That's all I got for right now.
Okay. Millie?
Cool. Sensing her newfound anti-gravity capabilities, Millie will pat little Professor Gale on the head, zoop down into the hold where she knows the extra aether crystals are, grab one, and then zoop below decks.
Near the back of the ship is where they are.
I think we're down here.
Below decks, near the back of the ship.
She's gonna zoop over there and grab one, and then zoop on. Because she can dash as a rogue, so she'll zoop, then zoop out the hole that the dragon made.
How far can you fly in one round?
120 feet.
120 feet? Jesus Christ.
It's 60 feet,
I
then a
forgot
dash.
about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
fly is 60, dash is another 60.
Yeah, ridiculous. Okay, cool. So you got what crystals?
That one, since you said they were kind of sizable, I'm grabbing one aether crystal.
Of wind?
Yeah, the big ones. The aether, like you said, like dinner plate size.
The smaller ones.
Or platter size. Yeah. So one of the aether ones for the wind, grabs it, zoops out through the hole where the damage was, and she's gonna look.
You're going down the bottom, through the bottom?
Yeah, so basically
not through the top.
through the boulder hole to the back of the ship,
Right.
below
Then
decks,
here.
out
No.
the hole,
Okay.
and then she's going to start looking in the immediate vicinity around where the hole was to start replacing the crystals that were on the perimeter of the hole that would be cracked with good crystals, or trying to find a way to just fix it to the side of the ship.
Okay. There were previously 12 aether crystals that were down, 6 on each side. They were holding it aloft. When you saw them before, they had a green glow about them. Of those 12, at least 4 are destroyed entirely. The one that was right near where this hole is, which it was actually closer to the side. It's okay.
But not all the way to the side. So
right.
It is a hole, not
When it dove at an angle like
right.
this. So it came out the bottom side.
Gotcha. But I mean, as far as like the railing of the ship is concerned, it is still in one piece.
Yes. However, where it came out destroyed one of the crystals. You look over and you see the boulder protruding from the bottom of the ship. It didn't go all the way through, but it did go partway through. And you see an arm just hanging out.
Oh, a pin between the... Gross.
Yeah. It doesn't look like the same arm as the person who lost theirs.
Oh,
it looks like another person.
So you said it was 12
sorry if
crystals.
this is gruesome, guys.
And how many were broken? 8?
I said 4 were broken. Well, no, 4 were broken entirely.
So, okay, so 4 destroyed.
Yeah. One of which was right next to where that boulder was on this side of the ship. Okay? You see several others were destroyed, probably by dragons.
Yeah,
during
the impacts.
Yep. And then only 3 of them still have any kind of significant glow to them.
Okay, so 5 damaged, 3 functional.
Yeah.
Okay, so then she'll immediately go towards the closest completely destroyed one, which would be, I guess, over here, the one that was near that way.
I mean, there's 4 that were completely destroyed. But
I mean, the closest one to the hole would be that one.
Yes, but there's no way that you'd be able to affix it to the hole because...
Okay, it took the mounting with it.
Yes. I mean, as far as you can tell, there was no actual mounting. It was the crystals were adhered to the ship in some way.
Interesting. Then, okay, she's just going to go approximately where it would be, more towards the front of the ship, I guess, and try to magic juice the crystal on, like...
So tell me, what do you know about airship engineering and etherology?
Nothing about the airship engineering, but she's already seen the underside of the ship having dangled off the edge before we took flight. So she's seen the placement of the crystals in their original undamaged state. We've experimented with aether technology making SIDS, Newlith, and we've experimented with aether technology via the cannon that the kobolds had, and all the aetherite crystals that we visited in every city. So following that logic of infusion, she's going to try to infuse the crystal onto the hull.
Okay. So, one thing that you noticed when you were attuning to the ether crystals, the etherites in each of the cities that you went to, is you felt a slight sense of euphoria and slightly weaker after doing so, because you're using your own life essence, your own internal ether to attune. So after you sleep, that comes back. It doesn't have, in the moment, you're pretty safe doing it. It doesn't really have long-lasting effects. But if you're doing it here, and you're trying to infuse an ether crystal, I'm not saying anything bad's going to happen, but you just remember the fact that you felt slightly weaker and less energy after doing that before. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, she'll try it with the first one, because she remembers the distinction between the aetherites, which have a charge of themselves, compared to the discharged kobold cannon, because Deus charged the kobold cannon, which was empty. The kobold had a cat cannon?
Goblins had a kitten cannon, yeah.
My bad. Yeah. The goblins had the kitten cannon, and that was discharged and drained of charge, so Deus had to infuse it
with her own.
Right. However, these are already charged as spares.
Correct.
So she's thinking it will take somewhere in between aetherite and cannon level of juice.
Okay.
Of indeterminate
so
people
you're
juice.
Pressing it up against the ship and trying to will it to stick?
Yeah. Like in that same willingness, like willing to attune to the aetherite, willing to basically attune the crystal to the ship.
Okay. Roll an engineering check at disadvantage.
Fucking natural 20 on the not one.
It does count for your limit break.
17.
17. Okay, you find a piece of the ship that seems relatively intact, where it's smooth enough for you to place the crystal. Unfortunately, the crystal does not seem to stick, no matter what you do.
In the attempt, does the crystal seem to give off any sense of anti-gravity or lift?
It feels as if it's giving off a slight breeze. Like, you don't know if it's the fact that you're falling through the air, flying through the air in your case, or the crystal, but your hair is being blown back. Not like tremendously so.
Yeah, well, that's her turn.
Okay. So next it would be Estinian. Averick, you got any ideas? That was not his voice. Averick, you got any idea? Fuck, I can't do his voice all of a sudden. Doesn't matter. I'm thinking. Alright, then we would be back to Genbu and Omega.
I am free falling.
You from where you're falling, you can see Millie. Speaking of which,
Oh, I waved to Millie.
I don't know if Millie sees you. She's a little busy.
Anyway,
But you can see her trying to push a crystal up against the ship.
much confusion for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you seem
just
to be
gonna
flying.
keep falling.
Do you have any flight spells or anything, Genbu?
No, don't worry about it.
I mean, I kind of have to worry about that. That's my job.
I'll be okay.
Sure. Omega, what are you doing?
Have I mounted the dragon?
Yes. You are on the back of the dragon. It is very dead, and it has a large harpoon sticking through it, and dragon blood just trailing off of it.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna take my gun stick and just jam it in like where the wing meets the shoulder, and just explode like 3 munitions into it, and try to rip that wing off.
The wing is now hanging by a sinew, and you pull it off.
Wonderful.
Now flap
I'm
like
gonna-
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Just think of Mighty Ducks. Whack, whack, whack.
Worked for Kevin.
I'm gonna. Okay. So, let's see what happens here. I'm gonna reholster my gun. I'm gonna grab one end of the wing, grab the other end of the wing, and use it like a fucking Breath of the Wild glider.
Oh my god. Well, the wing was fairly intact while it was attached to the dragon.
Cool.
Alright, you jump off of the corpse of the dragon holding onto the wing glider.
Uh-huh.
And despite physics' best efforts, you seem to be falling slower.
Beautiful. I'll take it.
Okay. That's for this turn.
For this turn. Got it. Also good sign.
Yeah. Okay. For those who didn't notice, the airship is further down now. I'm sure you all noticed that because you're following. Okay, so Deus is up, and then Sherbin and Fifi.
Okay. Well, I'll keep trying to help the NPCs get them up to the top of the deck. Was it your
Doorbell.
Yeah, it's my doorbell. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So it was a ring doorbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because the
coming from
speaker's over
there,
there.
I thought it
Yeah.
was coming. I'm like, we don't have ring.
Kevin's gonna look over the side of the ship and is looking
Wait,
for.
you're not yet.
Oh, my bad. I thought this was not like in order. My bad. We're good.
I mean, that's up to you guys, because I said you're not in combat anymore, and everybody was still asking me, okay, what's the initiative order? So it's really up to you. I was just going in initiative order.
It's just
for
to make sure that any
organization's
person's
sake.
individual efforts don't accidentally eat up the time of another person's individual efforts.
I asked you guys what you want to do. If you want to go in initiative order, that's fine. If you don't, if you want to be more loosey-goosey and not go in initiative order, you let me know now.
Loosey goosey. Kevin's gonna look over the ship and see what he sees.
Okay. You see, you see Omega falling slower than you. So,
Okay.
so she's above you. You see, on the side of the ship, you briefly catch Millie as she's trying to push a crystal up the side of the airship.
Weird
And
cap.
you see Andrew free falling, like Tom Petty.
What like if I look towards the ground, what do I see? Is there water? Is there rock? Is there like what's there?
It appears to be hilly, mountainous terrain. Where you currently are, you can see behind you the snowy area that is the Kurthis Central Highlands.
Yep.
And then in front of you, you're probably much closer to the Northern Shroud, and you see a lot more trees, and you see a deep valley with some sheer cliffs, I should note, and then several, like mountainous bumps on the ground or quickly approaching.
What's like 20 feet to the right of the ship, based on like our descent? If we're at the very bottom, what's like 20 feet, like to in front of me, which I could jump to?
Wait, can you repeat that because you cut out a little bit during?
Oh yeah, so if I look 20 feet out from like the very bottom of the ship where I'm at, if I could jump 20 feet, let's just say we were already at the bottom, we'd already crashed, everyone was safe, and I could just jump from this side of the ship, what areas can I jump to? Is it just rock?
Where can you jump to after you've crashed?
Yeah, exactly.
Are you basically trying to like jump off onto a nearby mountain as we pass it on our descent?
Exactly. So like if we were passing and I found a place where I could just jump off and plunge, carrying people with me, 20 feet. 20 feet is the max distance I can plunge.
Oh, no.
Oh, using the Dark Knight ability to teleport.
All right, I get that. I'm just saying, physics says if you jump that way, you're still falling at the same speed. So you would hit the mountain at the same speed you're currently falling.
So are we gonna play physics here? Or are we gonna play like magical plunge?
I mean, it's both. I've always included both. What I'm saying is, yes, you can try.
Okay.
But I currently have no idea where the ship is going to land because it may depend on what you guys do.
Got it. Okay, and now
So I can't tell you ahead of time if you're going to have a place where you can jump.
perfect. The last thing I'll do is look up and see the dragon without wings.
And Omega.
Okay.
And Omega. If I had to jump up there, it's 50 feet up right now, right?
Yes, being trailed by a rope. It's being held to the ship by a rope.
Okay. Kevin's trying to think if that would be a better way to land on a squishy dragon body to break some of the fall. Okay. That's it. Kevin's done.
Sure.
Sorry, he does look over. He looks over at Sherwin and says, Sherwin, I don't know what to do, but I might have to grab you, and I'm going to try to save you. You hear?
Oh, God.
Sherbin ponders whether or not death is preferable to being grabbed by Kevin.
It might come either way.
Giggity.
Yeah, my thoughts are, if we're going to hit the ground, we might as well hit on top of that dragon. Maybe he can absorb some of the fall.
Yeah, the bones inside don't hurt at all.
Nope.
Kevin, that's not going to help. We're still going to hit the ground very, very hard and on top of a dragon.
Like a dragon should be fluffy. And, I'm sure the guts will help, kill some of the fall.
Fluffy.
That's it for my turn. I've talked enough. I've looked enough. It seems like 6 seconds.
Okay. Sherbin and Phoebe?
Sherpin's going to make her way away from Kevin, come back to Sid, as best as she can,
Okay.
while trying not to fly off the ship, because like you said, like there's a good chance that we fall up away from the ship, right? So we have to kind of hold on to stuff to keep from
Well,
flying off the ship.
You haven't divorced gravity just yet, but it's like
Okay.
as you're sprinting across the ship, you find that your feet come off lighter than they usually do.
So essentially, it's the shuttles that recreate free fall,
Yeah.
where you're hovering around an object that is also falling at your same speed.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think I'm describing it correctly.
That's I mean, that's literally they'll take the big what's like hollowed out
Yeah.
C-130s,
Yeah.
go right at the bridge of it, and just fall into the thing, and you just recreate free fall.
Okay, so what are you doing near Sid? There's only one of Sid now, by the way.
She's gonna ask him. She's gonna kind of like, because he looks a little dazed and confused. She's just kind of smack him a little bit and be like, "Hey, did you see any parachutes on the way here? Did you see anything?"
Didn't see.
What's that?
Did you say parachute?
Yeah.
Sherman would not know what a parachute is. It's Garlean
Does
technology
anyone?
that's not yet shared with the world.
God damn it! Does anyone know what a parachute is? Okay, so she would just ask him if he's seen anything that would keep us from falling on an airship like this.
No, apparently nobody had the concept of falling in mind when they've been making airships.
I'm trying!
Nobody thought about falling?
The first thing we did when we discovered gravity, we said, how do we fuck with it? And we never thought about what would happen.
We were so busy figuring out if we could, we didn't stop to think if we should. Whatever it is, I just fucked that up. Okay.
Let's take that one side.
All right, I might have an idea, but we have to do it when we're closer to the ground. It's going to be tight, but try not to drift too far away.
She's just gonna hold on to his robe then, while it's fluttering.
Fifi's gonna go right next to Estinian.
At the back?
Wherever Estinian is, so that she can just grab onto him if he does a jump. Figures
Okay.
if he jumps up, that should arrest some of the falling speed since he'll counteract it with his jump.
Okay. I mean, theoretically, if you jump off the ship right before it hits the ground, you should land safely. That doesn't actually work. That doesn't work. Okay. Sid, you're up, and then Millie.
That's pretty much. Yeah. I need the most people to stay somewhat closest. I just need to be able to see you all.
Okay. Millie?
Oh, that's right, because... Yeah. Okay. Frustrated that it's not working, Millie will fly back up the hole and towards the crewmen that were near where Deus was and the chunk of crewmen that are still alive, and basically just shake the crystal wildly at one and just be like, try to pantomime how the fuck does this work.
You need the adhesive. And the one with no arm, who's not bleeding anymore, because Sherman healed.
Oh, I thought that you managed to fall over and die.
Until she healed him. That's a lot of blood loss. Wobbles over the ship and goes to one of the storage areas back there.
Oh, right.
And comes out holding up what looks like a paint can, and it's got some kind of brush attached to it. Be very careful with this. It's sticky.
Is it open?
Yes. You can read, right?
Yes.
It says sovereign glue on the side.
Oh.
Cool. Millie doesn't know what that means.
Nope,
she
I'm
knows
just
it's glue.
You're giving the campaign a bucket of sovereign glue? You're giving the trickster a bucket of sovereign glue?
If it succeeds, I mean, if you survive. It's about half empty, by the way.
And like bucket or jar?
Like a small paint can.
Okay. She'll put the aether crystal in her pack, grab the can, and then, given the distance covered, she'll try to go up and out the boulder hole and then just right over the edge to repair one of the broken ones back here.
Sure.
Because they're closer than going back up there.
If you go right there, then as you get closer, you can see small little bits of crystal where the big one used to be. And this was one of the larger ones. So.
And they are very clearly defunct.
Oh yeah. Like it's shattered.
Okay, then she'll...
you feel a gust of wind very clearly coming from the shattered bits of the crystal, but...
But it's like clearly not pointing in the right direction, or however it worked.
Or, yeah.
Then she'll paint a splotch near it, so that way the structural integrity doesn't get tweaked by putting all the crystals on one end.
Okay.
And then...
Well, as you're doing that, you have a clear view of the hole where the boulder is, and you see the flattened head of one of the knights crushed within its helmet, just staring at you.
Gross.
Huh.
Yeah, lifelessly, but staring.
Gross.
Okay.
But yeah, so paint out of the pack.
You actually feel as if it's beginning to stick. It hasn't fully stuck yet, but you feel like it's working.
All right.
Holding it there is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. For the remainder of that round, she'll keep holding it.
Okay. Sit it and yeah. Genbu and Omega.
Oh yeah, here. Well, since we'll put her over there because they're both. Well, Omega's not technically free falling because
Omega.
Yeah.
You printed it?
Christian did.
Yeah, I have to paint it
I
and
haven't
file
seen
it off.
When did you do this?
Oh, a couple
Did
weeks.
Omega? Oh no, she's not riding the dragon anymore, right? She's just doing the parasailing.
Yeah, I should technically be above the dragon, I think.
Above
you're-
the, yeah.
You're above everything. You're like way up here. The ship
Yeah.
is falling, and you're slightly slower falling.
I'm
Sure, you're on top of
constant.
the
I'm fairly certain I'm very far away from the ship now too.
God damn it, Christian! I have to get in there in person. I'm sorry.
You're behind. What was that?
I'm just thanking Christian. I didn't know there was a mini out there for me. I haven't been there. Thank you so much, bud. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Yeah. Denver, we're just keeping you here just to show that you're below the ship. But you are pretty far behind the ship now, and a little bit below it. Just because your weight, you're not going to fall as fast. Or at least you're not going to
Are you saying I'm fatter than the ship?
No, I'm saying there's less of you, so there's more wind resistance keeping you aloft.
Well, I mean, what if he's doing the pencil spear move through the sky?
I did say I was spearing through.
There's less of him than there is of the ship. The ship's going to hit terminal velocity before he does.
No, it's the reverse. The ship has more air resistance. It hits terminal velocity slower. If he's doing pencil.
Fuck you. All right.
Right.
Anyway.
I did the math on this, remember, in Fortune's
I don't
favor
care.
to figure out what Hadar would
Fine.
impact that.
You're further behind and further down. Are you doing anything while you free fall?
Some epic poses.
So he's not doing the pencil then. He's just posing.
I mean,
In a pencil shape.
He said spear the first time.
I did spear out the hole,
Omega,
but
what
then
are you
I
doing?
started posing.
How's my flight going?
You can see the ship about 150 feet below you now.
Cool. Do I feel stable?
Roll
Have you ever?
strength.
Mentally or physically?
I mean, this is going to test how long you can hold on, because you're just holding on by your arm.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
Well, that's one of the best ones to do a strength check. So
What the fuck did my D20 go?
That's what I just told him to do.
I'm
Sorry.
saying she's one of the best characters to do that.
I'm just gonna trust this because I don't know where my D20 went. Strength is what's a 15?
15? Okay, you hold on. You don't feel your grip slipping yet.
Cool. If I still have the strength, I'm going to let go and start dive bombing to the ship, holding on the wing, seeing if I can't get closer to everybody.
So you're not holding the wing above you anymore.
No, but I'm gonna hold it in my hand and hold it back behind me, kind of like a sail. Kind of guide me to the ship.
Oh my god.
Sail.
You thought this was gonna be easy, didn't you?
No, I didn't. I did not. believe it or not, I've never had an airship crash in a campaign before, so this is
That's
all new.
fair. That's fair. Never been on
okay.
one crashing.
Well, good. Everyone has new experiences then. Okay. I will say that you're allowed to... Working it like a sail would still slow your descent quite a bit, to the point
That's
where you're
fine.
not going to be able to catch up to the ship.
Okay. So I'm in between. I'm in between gliding and straight falling.
Okay.
Right.
So you're not using it as a sail. You're just trying to like straight fall towards the ship, or like in the direction of the Emperor.
Yeah, yeah.
You begin falling much faster.
Cool.
Okay, and you're still with that strength check of 15. You're still able to hold on despite the wind resistance to the wing.
Beautiful. It's gonna be a bad day if I let go of that.
Estinian looks around. Come with me, little one. And he grabs Fifi and leaps horizontally right next to Emmerich. With Fifi. I don't know why I can't do his voice anymore. I'm sad. I had it perfect.
I legit don't remember what he sounds like.
It's very, like, gravelly and deep.
Yummy. So
and
yummy.
Now you guys know why I do the voice. No. Alright, so... Emmerich, I have an idea. I don't know if it's gonna work. Well, whatever it is, friend, I suggest you do it soon. And you just see Estinian reach once more into his chest armor and pull out the eye-shaped object. That's all he does for his turn. We're back up to Deus.
Okay. So now at this point in time,
Top of turn 3.
yeah, I'm gonna start getting the NPCs up on deck and tell them to prepare to evacuate if Millie's not able to right the ship.
Okay.
And I'll make sure that they tell them to make sure that they have cutting tools.
Cutting tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then go up on deck. So I guess,
What was it you just sent?
Just a picture of the characters.
Cool. I feel like this music is perfect for this. Okay. So you rally the NPCs that are downstairs. There's only 2.
well, it makes it quick work then.
1.5 technically. And you grab them, or you rally them to come up top. You have to help the one with one arm
Okay.
to climb, because obvious.
They are dice.
Sure. They kind of look like crates.
We only cared about the
So
stuff.
they come up to the top, and you emerge next to Estinian and Emmerich, and Fifi, and you are already there. Well, who else was there?
And
Oh,
Kevin
it was Sherbin.
looking
Yeah, Kevin looking
wistfully at nearby cliffs to jump on.
Okay. So next would be Sherbin, Fifi, Kevin, kind of interchangeably. Whatever you'd like to do.
Sherbin's still gonna be hanging on to Sid. That's pretty much
Okay.
all she can do, poor thing.
Okay. Fifi and Kevin.
Kevin's gonna shout, DX, where you at? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Kevin. What are you doing?
Literally behind.
I don't know. The ship's falling. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, remember that one time we were having that hog tying competition and you got all tangled up and we had to extricate you?
No, but I think I remember.
Yeah, we had to cut you loose, so you better get ready to do that maybe.
Oh, the time I was up in like all the ropes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly the time that I just mentioned, yes,
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. So, okay, got it. So I gotta find some ropes and we're gonna get everyone tangled. All right, let me see my bag. And Kevin starts sorting through his bag. How much rope do we need?
We have the rope already, Kevin. It's all around us.
Oh. What do I need to do?
Plenty of rope on deck and in the rigging.
Yeah.
What did you ask?
So what should I be doing? Mexican DX.
Well, we need to lash ourselves to the rigging so we can cut the ship loose and float away if Millie's not able to get the ship fixed.
All right. Well, you tell me whatever you need. I'll do it.
Okay.
Except for my turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Fifi?
Estinian, is there anything I can do to help?
Do you know how to channel your ether?
Do I know how to channel my ether?
Urethra?
I realized it sounded like that after I said it. Yes, do you know how to channel your ether is what he asked.
Do I?
It's what you do when you're returning to the Aetherites.
Yes.
Well, aim it at this. And he holds out, like right in front of your face, a gigantic eye the size of a softball.
All right, I'll do that.
It's a greenish yellow color with a black pupil, like a pure black pupil, kind of in the shape of a cat's eye.
Okay, I'll do it.
Cool. All right. I'm not gonna make you roll for anything. You're just helping. All right, Sid.
I'll grab Sherman's hand and start pulling her towards the rest of the group in the middle there.
Okay. So, Sherman, you're basically being dragged by Sid, who is literally twice your size, I think. Or pretty close. Was that?
He won't have much trouble.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what the plan is, but as long as we stay together, I got something. Might work, might not, but it's better than nothing. And that's it for me for now.
Through gritted teeth, Estinian just says, "Get over here, fools!" In your direction. Okay, Millie.
How stuck does the crystal feel?
You let go, and it's sticking and glowing. You feel as if the ship slightly slower descent, but not by much.
Cool. Then she's gonna zip up over the edge into the crystal or the horde, grab another one, and then from here, so up,
Might actually work.
out there, and then out of the boulder hole to the other side, trying to get one that's broken in about
Yeah,
this.
you actually find one that's still functioning, and you move on to another one that's completely broken.
Trying to get some
well,
towards
it's not broken, but it has no glow.
Yeah, because she wants to try to fix the ones that are towards the front of the ship because we're nosediving, we're not sinking backwards. So, same thing, paint and hold.
Okay. Are you breaking the old crystal that was there, or you just put it next to it?
Next to it.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll make a Genbu.
Yep. Right. I've been moving it right before their turn, everyone.
Oh, before their turn. Okay. Hold on. I will adjust my notes then.
Because I had them start, so.
Gotcha.
I'll make a Genbu.
How far away from the ship would you say I am now?
Now.
Lengthwise,
Yes.
probably almost 500 feet.
Christian, if I'm not out, just say that.
500 feet behind. And below it, you're like 150 feet below it. The ground is quickly approaching.
I am going to starfish.
Like
Yeah.
this? Okay. Your descent immediately slows. You're still falling.
I imagine so.
Okay, Omega?
How close am I to the ship?
Well, with your new course of action, you're moving horizontally at about the same speed as the ship at the moment.
Okay.
And you're like 50 feet above it at this point. So if you kept going, you should be able to get to the ship, like intersect with the ship at your current angle.
Okay, I'm gonna try to intersect with the ship and yell, "Hey, who needs a ride?"
I love it. I love it.
That's
Does
about.
anybody answer?
Not
Nobody
yet,
said
apparently.
anything.
But wait.
What? Well, granted, with the wind rushing in the direction it's rushing, probably nobody hears Omega. to be
That's fair.
All right. By the end of this round, you'll intersect with the ship. Are you just trying to face plant into the deck, or what are you trying to do?
I mean, I'll try to land on it, like feet, if it's possible. I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know what the
with disadvantage. I don't think you have any flying practice.
Not yet. This is how you get it. Right, and okay. The lower one. It was athletics.
Yes.
16.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 and an 11.
Okay. You're flying basically like this, like nosediving towards the ship, but as you get close, you flip your body around so your feet are in front of you, and as soon as you connect with the deck, you begin doing the Roadrunner thing where you're just trying to move your feet. You go from the back of the ship all the way to the front, you lose your footing right about middle, and start rolling and crash into the side of the deck over here.
Do I still have my wing?
You still have your wing.
Beautiful.
Actually, no, you dropped your wing like somewhere back here. but
I
it's still
have to
on the
run and
ship.
grab it.
Well, I mean, you just
What I can.
crashed into the front of the ship railing and survived with 1 point of damage.
Beautiful.
Amazing. Okay, so that was Omega's turn. Back up to Estinian and Emmerich. Okay, you see Emmerich chanting something, and these tendrils of red and green and yellow light are swirling around his body up towards the eye, which seems to be absorbing it. Emmerich puts his hand on Estinian's shoulder, and Estinian seems like he's steadied a bit, but that's all that happens at the moment. All right, Deus.
All right, so I'm gonna turn to Estinian and say, like, what exactly are you doing?
Going for broke.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna hold my action until after Millie does her thing.
Okay, sure. Sherbin, Fifi, and Kevin, you're up.
All right, Sherbin hears Estinian calling over to her and said, see, it looks like he has a plan. I hope he has a plan. I really hope he has a plan. Let's go see what he wants." So she's gonna try to make her way over to Estinian while still holding on to Sid.
Okay. So she's dragging Sid now.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Anything else while you're here? Or just that for now?
That's it.
Fifi and Kevin.
Before we die, I think it's important everyone should know I killed my firstborn child because it was a green goblin. I hope you don't live.
What's happening? What's happening right now?
Can you repeat that? Because you were cutting out a little bit.
No, good. I'm not always cutting out. That's.
It's the wind. It's the wind.
I want everyone to know before we die, I killed my firstborn child because it was green and cursed.
Well. Well then.
I got good and bad news for you, Kevin. Good news! I don't think it was your kid! Bad news! I think you're still a murderer!
Now I'm trying to figure out who in the town she would have fucked. Okay.
Everyone.
Sorry, let me recenter myself. Fifi, what are you doing?
I wasn't saying that today either, but I feel like that's what Kevin would do before he died.
Oh, I love it.
Kill a
It's great.
child?
Wait, what?
Would at least
I
tell
didn't-
everybody he killed a child.
Technically, it was a newborn. I mean,
Not better. Not stop.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we already know that he's, conservative because he cares about the baby until it's born.
Right. God damn it.
I call it a one-day abortion. So
Jesus.
No, you're a
Did they
birther.
work?
It has to be born.
it's an abortion after 1 day. After it's
Isn't that
born.
what? I can think of several senators and Congress people that should have been aborted, or still can. Anyway, Fifi, are you? It's your turn. Unless you're not there.
I think he just put BRB.
Oh, okay, we'll skip. Sid.
I will go along with Sherman, and as I get to Estinian and Fifi doing their deal, I kind of just fade on, like drift off a little bit, looking at the eye. Just kind of stare at it for a minute. What are you trying to do?
If you want to help, give me some ether. There it is. I found it.
As they stand there, his eyes glow a little brighter green, and he just kind of reaches out towards it. And
Okay. You feel some of your life essence being channeled towards the eye.
Hmm.
And it's an odd feeling. You have a very warming feeling around the etherites. This is very chilling. Not in a super painful way, but you feel very cold as it's going towards the eye. Okay. Millie's up. What did she tell you to... Oh, perfect timing.
Cool. This one stuck, the crystal stuck as well?
Yes. The descent has slightly slowed again, and the ship is slightly leveling. I just want to point out, you have 2 rounds before it hits the ground, at the current speed.
Did Estinian do anything, since he was saying to charge stuff?
They're beginning to see, like, some energy being drawn into the eye.
Okay. So we're at the bottom of turn 4? Right? Yes.
Bottom? Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm last in that
Yes.
order. Based on the height, is it like start of 6 impact or end of 6 impact?
You guys, you all have basically 2 rounds of actions before it hits.
Okay. What were Deus and Kevin doing?
Oh, well, we were kind of like bantering back and forth. I held my action to see if you were able to slow it. I don't know.
3 out.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
I
so
don't
you're
know-
not participating with that.
No, because I asked him when he was doing, he said he's going for broke and he's like taking everyone's energy without telling us what's going on. So I don't know if I should just.
Wait, is Omega back on the ship?
Yeah, Omega
Oh,
crash
you
landed.
missed
So Omega's way over there.
Joining us again.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Millie has no idea what the fuck's going on. She's gonna zip back up, grab another crystal, and on the way out towards the other side. And as she flies over that chunk of exactly 5 people, she casts Featherfall on all 5 of those people as a reaction.
Interesting.
So they can, in theory, continue to do whatever the hell they're still doing.
What is the... Hold on.
By the way, hold on, let me double check the math on that.
60 feet per round.
No, I got that. I'm just
One-
checking something for myself.
1 minute duration.
Thank you. I'm still checking something for myself.
Oh, but then it would. Okay, if it's 2 more actions for everyone, so Millie has 3 actions, this one, and then 2 more, or does everyone have only 1 more action? Millie has 2.
You have 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then she does not cast Featherfall at this exact moment. I misinterpreted. I thought I had 1 more action after this one. I have 2 more actions.
Yes.
So she's not.
Everybody else has already used theirs.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. She's not casting Featherfall this turn.
Yeah.
Because the duration would fail comically. Because it lasts exactly 1 minute, which is 600 feet. If we are 2 rounds to impact, that is 1,000 feet.
12 seconds.
What?
It's 12 seconds. Oh, you're talking about the distance fall.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, because it's 1,000 feet falling, so that means they would fall 600 feet slowly and then fall 400 feet at speed, which would be hilarious. But
And still max damage.
Yeah, exactly. Still max damage. Okay, then, yeah, so she does not do that, but she does attempt to put a crystal, basically where she tried the first time now that she knows she has to glue it.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you, this is the last crystal you will have time to place.
Okay.
Just so you know, because it basically takes your action to adhere, and then you got to go get another one.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because that means that crystal will be ready to go at the start of, or by the end of turn 4.
This is turn 4.
Sorry, yeah, by the end of turn 5, yeah.
Okay.
Does Genbu hit the ground then? Because
I didn't mean to drop it, but I did.
Rude.
Genbu and Omega are now up. Genbu, you've been going first, so...
Okay, how many turns do I have left? 2 or 1?
Well, they have 2 turns. This is your last round before you hit the ground unless you do something.
Okay. So as I am about 300 feet away from the ground, I start entering a T-pose. Like I'm a fucking falling angel. Head
Put the head tilted back and everything.
You took Christo Red in for?
And then when I get about 20 feet from the ground, I Misty Step. And do a superhero landing.
Misty Step allowing you to turn into mist, basically?
Yeah, Misty Step essentially making me teleport 30
Right.
feet wherever I want to.
So you're about to hit the ground and you instead teleport 30 feet into the air so that you just fall slowly?
I teleport basically like at a diagonal 30 feet. So that I'm not 30 feet in the air, but I'm still falling very slowly doing it a superhero landing.
Theoretically, that would work. So, alright. Omega, you are not unconscious, but you now find yourself sitting next to a railing.
Good. And everybody else has been cast Featherfall on, or am I also Featherfall?
No.
Oh, not yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh. Okay. I'm just gonna look at everybody. Seriously, who needs a ride?
Well, where you are now and the direction they're traveling, they would be able to hear you. Your voice would carry over there.
Good. Or do y'all have some plan? Just tell me there's a plan.
Get over here, idiot. Justinian shouts at you. You can only make out bits and pieces.
Be like, sure, I'll grab my wig, walk over there.
Okay. And as
What's
you're
the
walking,
plan?
it's like every step that you're taking would be like 2 normal steps because you're going against the ship. Yeah. As you get over there, you begin to see it appears to be a fountain, like coming up out of the eye, just like this. That's all you see so far. It's like a translucent fountain of. It looks like water, but it's not moving in the way that water would.
Okay.
Okay.
It's blood.
No. Blood usually gets off on a different floor.
No comment. Deus.
Okay, so does it feel like the ship has stopped?
No. It feels like it's slightly slowed its descent and slightly leveled out. It's still falling at great speed.
Okay. So this was what my initial thought was, right? Because I wanted to save the NPCs. And now I'm seeing these guys, everyone's kind of congregated over there, so I don't think we pull off the other plan. So I think what I'm going to do is channel my ether into the crystal.
Okay.
And see what that guy does.
There are other NPCs about the ship. So the ones that were left on top of the ship there were 12 on top originally, 3 of which got killed by dragons. So there's 9 left on top.
Okay, so are they...
Some of them appear to be within that circle. Others are like tying shit down or like just holding on for dear life, not really knowing what to do.
Okay, how many would you see? You said 9, basically
There's
here
9
and
total.
elsewhere?
There's 3 of them that are in the middle.
On top of the 2 that Deus brought from below
Yes.
decks? Okay.
The 1.5 that is brought from below decks.
I'll just random places.
Okay,
Sure.
So does this guy strike me as the type of person that would save everybody?
Justinian?
Yeah. Because he seems like an asshole so far from our interactions with him.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Nothing that he's done has been outright malicious. And it seems like everything that he's talked about and done so far has been in service of a good cause. That's all you know.
Okay, so I'm going to call to those guys up there and just tell them to lash themselves to the rigging and tell them that we're going to be cutting the ship loose. So that way we can float off on the balloons and do a controlled descent, hopefully. And then if they get their stuff done first, then hopefully they can target all of us and get it done.
Okay. You begin seeing a couple of the NPCs like fumbling and taking out a kukri, just trying to like saw through some of the rigging.
Okay, and then I'll call to Kevin to start plunging the ropes.
Plunging into the ropes.
Yeah, so that way you can move and
Just
slashing.
immediately there's a lot of ropes that are attached to the ship.
You better get moving.
Okay. You hear that, Kevin?
Kevin starts plunging into ropes.
Okay.
He takes it literally and plunges off the ship.
I mean,
No.
plunges.
They told me to.
No, he gets
Plunge is an action.
Bonus action.
It's a
Can I
bonus
do like
action.
some kind of intelligence roll to
Still only one per turn.
Yeah.
see if
what
I
was
could?
saying, Aaron?
Can I do some kind of intelligence roll to see if I could kind of ingenuity a way to like turn the blimp into a parachute? Not specifically trying to create a parachute, but just understanding that if you have fabric
Yeah.
and then you have it
Oh, you can roll
inverted.
for it. You can roll for it. Intelligence check, straight up.
Uh, 17.
What was it?
17.
Okay. You surmise, and after seeing what Deus is shouting to some of the knights, is that if the blimp part of the airship were to be removed entirely from the ship, then it would possibly work as a method of falling slowly.
Like remove it and everyone holds onto it or something?
Yeah, like as in the balloon, if removed from the ship, would fall slower than the ship is.
Okay. I guess I'll just start shooting firebolts at the places where it's attached that people are not next to or something.
Okay. Yeah, alright. Okay, well, that was just your turn, right? And then Fifi from last turn. Okay, cool. Sherbin, Fifi, and Kevin, you're up for this round.
Which is our final round of actions.
Or
sorry, Deus was starting the final round of...
Just continuing what I was doing.
One more after this.
Yeah,
my bad.
We got one more.
So then Kevin's going to run to the next rope, cut it. Then he's going to plunge 20 feet to the next rope within 20 feet, and use his bonus action to cut that one. And that's the end of his turn.
Okay.
I can cut
At this point... Say it again?
No, go ahead. I can cut like 2 ropes a turn.
Yeah. At this point, through your combined efforts, there's 8 cut ropes out of 24 attachments. And you have 6 NPCs all working on 1 rope by themselves. 1 rope each. Okay. Cool. Can you move Kevin around a little bit? Because he's been plunging into various ropes.
Oh,
Just around the ship
Whatever.
somewhere.
Doesn't matter.
we can be over there.
Okay.
So,
Sherbin?
Sherbin, she looks over and she finally sees Omega.
Okay.
She's like, why does she have a dragon wing? Where did she get a dragon? Where has she been? Oh, and then she hears a Stinian asking for more ether onto an eyeball of sorts. Apparently, it has an eyeball now. She's looking at this really
You're cutting out again.
a little bit better.
That's a little better.
So she's giving this. She's really mean mugging Estinian, like really hard. Before she raises her other one, she's still holding on to Sid. Channel her ether into the eyeball.
Okay, just so I understand, you're channeling your ether into the eyeball.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what's up, but you're cutting in and out of it.
Yeah,
So-
like super couldn't hear.
Yeah, I understood the gist of it, but maybe like disconnect and reconnect, maybe that would work.
Alright, I'll do it.
Okay. Anyway, Sherbin does that. Kevin, you already did your turn. Sid, what do you want to do?
I'm feeling the draw on my aether. I just kind of start shifting back a little nervous about it, seemingly a little shifty about this, but kind of looking around for Millie and Deus and seeing what's going on at the moment. And
Well,
kind of hold.
Millie, you've seen zipping around.
Right.
Like,
well,
why?
just kind of getting,
Yeah.
while helping a bit, also kind of taking the lay of the land, seeing where people are at the moment.
Okay. So, do I need to describe it to you again, or do you have an idea?
Nope, I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do, just not yet.
Blue and magenta next turn for me and Sid.
Millie?
Okay, so...
Genbu's on the ground.
Oh, did you see his poses?
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
He had those prepared ahead of time, I bet.
Alright, so since Millie is the end of this round, we are rapidly approaching...
Like the best. This is like the slowest fall ever in terms of real life time.
I mean, if we're that high up, that'd be so unnerving to be falling for that long.
That was my intent.
Does this sound a little bit better?
Oh, amazing.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
you'll have to give a longer chunk of words, because it would be like you'd start fine, and then it would... And, yeah.
Okay.
Was it using your computer microphone again instead of your headset?
I think so, but I went into a different settings area to mess around with it, so we'll see.
Sounds good so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Millie's penultimate action will be to fly back into the hold to grab one last Aether Crystal.
And draw
No,
mustaches on the dead
knowing-
bodies.
Bonk, 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 bonk.
This is the last of the spares, just FYI.
Cool. And what you said before, I do not have time to affix this one. Just wants it to have...
Well, you have time to like put up the adhesive and stick it, but holding it there, you don't really have time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
So she just wants it then. So she'll go in, zip in, grab it, fly out, land, or hover about here, and being that it's the very end of the round, as a reaction, she will slow fall these three and the two from below decks.
Okay. This is one of your spells.
And as a reaction, as well, Sid will featherfall Emmerich, Estinian, himself, Sherbin, and Fifi.
Okay. And
Which
you,
is 5.
you were holding your action for Millie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep cutting the ropes and everything.
Oh, okay. So you're not doing anything else. Well, you said you were holding your action until you saw Millie. I didn't know if you...
Yeah, this is to see if the thing was righting, the ship was righting itself. So
it went.
At this point, it's probably the best it's going to get, and it's not right.
Exactly. So that's why we're doing our thing.
Okay. This is the last round of actions for everyone. Okay. So, Genbu and, Genbu, you can see in the distance the airship getting very close to the ground at high speed. What would you like to do?
Run as far away from that location where I think it's gonna land as possible.
You're at the moment 1,500 foams away from it.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm just gonna watch.
Okay. How nice. All right, Omega.
Am I waiting for what the magic is happening?
I don't know. Are you?
Nobody's told me a plan.
Well, blast the ship free. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Blast the ship free.
Yeah, you see us cutting the ropes, like the NPCs and I are cutting the ropes. Kevin's cutting the ropes, and we're all tied to it, tied to the ropes.
I'm going to be just above you in case something goes wrong. And then if you guys need me, I'm going to try to dive back to you.
You just hold out the wing and get carried off?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And if anybody needs a ride, this is your last chance.
Okay. Omega, you are no longer on the ship.
Okay.
Alright. Emmerich starts looking around at all of the soldiers that are messing with the rigging at the moment, seeing that some of them have tied themselves to the rigging at your suggestion. Quickly, come with us, all of you! That's what he shouts. Estinian is grunting and struggling and having some kind of difficulty, but you begin to see that fountain turning into a globe that's stretching over the immediate center of the ship there. And he says, almost there! Alright, Deus.
Well, I guess I'll go in the middle of the globe.
Okay. Sherman,
She's just screaming at this point.
are you still channeling your ether into the eye?
Uh-huh. That's all
Okay,
she can
you-
do.
Much like I described to Sid, you're as the ether is leaving you through your hand begins to feel very cold. Not like painful, but cold. Same thing for Fifi. Well, Fifi was helping channel, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, Fifi and Kevin, what are you doing? This is your last round.
Yeah, Kevin will do one last plunge, and then spend his action getting himself set in the rigging, like holding it and getting ready.
And so you're holding the rigging, but you're not going towards the Estinian ball?
Where's the entire group?
The group is right here. Kevin is more towards the back of the ship.
Oh, then I'm going to go to our group. Yeah.
He plunges into the group.
Ruining Estinian's concentration.
Yeah. Okay. Fifi.
Keep.
There are 4 total ropes holding the balloon to the ship now, and you hear tearing sounds.
I'll shoot one of them, and then
Okay.
try and
The ship
draw-
lurches as it detaches from the balloon. Which one are you shooting? Which corner?
whichever one I should logically shoot as a smart person.
I don't have an answer for that. Just pick one, and I'll tell you what happens.
The one tied to Kevin's leg.
I don't know. I can't really see.
The one tied to Kevin's leg, like he said.
There isn't one tied to Kevin's leg. Okay. Front corners, back corners. Those are the 2. There's only 4 ropes holding the balloon to the ship at the moment. Logically, if you cut a rope, the ship is probably going to start listing in the direction of the rope that you cut.
Back right.
Back right. Okay, the ship lurches a bit, and it's like trying to... It's like a seesaw, almost, at the moment. Okay. Several of the knights rush towards the center. There are still 3 that are attached to the ropes, trying furiously to unattach themselves from their ropes.
I guess those would be with that because I cast Featherfall on 5.
Okay.
So which were the ones that are because it was these 2 from below decks and then these 3 that were the furthest out.
They could all go towards the middle. We'll say the ones.
Well, but I mean, which are the ones that tied themselves to the deck? Was it like these ones, this
most
guy in
of
the
them
back?
did. Two on that side and 1 right here are trying to untie themselves. The others were already loosed themselves.
Okay, well, because then these 2 guys are now floating much slower than the rest of us.
Yeah, which might not be the best thing for them. Just saying.
I mean, the timing works. They're not going to have to deal with whatever the Estinian bubble after effects are. But,
Okay.
and then we'll see. So these 2 are floating. This guy is floating tied to a rope.
Sure.
However much slack the rope had.
Yeah, well, like 10 fulls. 15 fulls.
And then these 2, does the Estinian bubble have any effect on the slow fall?
No.
Okay, then these 2 are just whee, slowly descending.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because assuming the ones from below decks that were right next to Estinian did not bolt themselves to the deck.
No.
Okay, so then floating guys are those 4.
Okay. Did Kevin already take his turn?
Yes.
Okay, Sid and Millie.
I will turn around and slightly hesitantly, but resigned to needing to do it, focus all of my ether on the eye.
Okay. Sounds good. Millie, anything?
What's the radius of the Estinian bubble?
It appears to be about 30 feet.
Okay, so all of these guys are within that.
Yeah. It's a 30-foot diameter, not radius. Sorry, 15-foot radius.
Okay. She's going to scoot over, cut the rope of that one guy, and
Like cutting him loose or cutting the rope?
well, he's tied to the rope that is tied from him to the ship, right?
Yes, and they're still trying to cut themselves loose from that, but there's 3 ropes still on the ship. That one was the last one that was cut by Land PT. There's one over there, and somebody right there is trying to cut through it, and there's one...
I misunderstood. He's not tied to the ship. He's trying to cut the rigging.
They tied themselves to the rope, and they're cutting below where they tied themselves.
Okay, I'm going to, because he's slow fall, I'm going to cut the rope that is tying him to the rigging, not the rigging from the ship. So that way he is free and loose.
Okay.
And then I have many a bladed instrument. Then I'm going to be that he's slow falling and I'm flying, drag him towards the other 5 and kind of make that little falling skydiving ring with the 5 slow falling people, with me flying to guide them.
You're kind of holding them up. Okay. So there's still there's a couple that are just unlucky right now.
Well, they're just doing the same thing of tying themselves to stuff.
Well, trying to
untie themselves.
Or cut through it, right?
Yeah.
At which point, that one manages to cut the back of it, the rope on the back there. The entire bottom of the ship is now, like, detached.
Oh, jeez.
As it's the last round. So it's being held up right here by 2 ropes. And those 2 are basically the way it is, it's like the balloon is now pointed vertical, or is moving vertical, and the ship is, like, straight down. But this is happening simultaneously as you're about to hit the ground. Just as it's falling, it's making it so that it swings slower. Hopefully that's a visual that you guys can get by. All right. With that said, you hear Estinian grunt, and with one last push of energy, a dome envelops all of you. A ball of energy envelops all of you, and Estinian is just screaming, and it sounds like he's in pain.
What happened to that guy who cut it? Did he go up with the part that was detached? So is he like dangling from the balloon now?
Because he's attached to it.
Okay.
Well, he's attached, to the balloon.
Okay, and then that guy's just SOL tied to the bottom of the ship that's now dangling.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, more or less. Because Land PP destroyed the rope that he's cutting. Okay, so, with that said, the ground is fast approaching. You start to, the air feels heavier down here than it was up there. You realize that the ground is coming close, especially with the ship now basically swinging. You all are within the bubble, and you're not falling. That's the last thing that you know before the ship hits the ground. And a huge crash into the ground. You hear wood splintering, and then everything goes dark. Okay?
For them.
For them. You see them hit the ground. You see a spectacular explosion of lumber and fire crystals and various other things that were there. The balloon did not really slow the fall because it was being dragged down by the rest of the ship. So, unfortunately, because you were not able to completely detach the rigging beforehand, that plan didn't work too well. Genbu, you just see an explosion of dust in the air where you assume that the ship crashed. You're about 2,000 films away.
The dude who was dangling from the balloon, I'm guessing he didn't have a good time.
You're not close enough to see yet. You guys decided to feather fall away before it hit the ground. Which, helpful for you, missed all the splinters flying. And the other NPCs, who are mortified as they're looking down at the crashed ship, and the fact that they're slowly falling, something that they're not used to. You slowly fall, and over the course of the next few rounds, you land about 50 fulms away from the crash site, which is now a crater in the ground. The ground that you land on, there is an entire section of
sheared earth.
Yeah, for like 300 feet, where the ship hit the ground and just slid.
Nice.
With that said, those of you who I said blacked out, you find yourselves on your backs as you come to, staring through like a translucent bubble, as if you were inside of a blown bubble from somebody that you know was mixing soap with water and blowing on it, that kind of thing. It's slowly dissipating around you, and you look around, and everybody that was in the bubble, for better or worse, appears unharmed, except for Estinian, who is still passed out, as far as you can tell.
Sure, and give him mouth to mouth.
You know she wants to.
Okay.
But she's mad at Emmerich, not Estinian.
No, she said she was mad at Estinian, didn't she?
No, Emmerich.
Oh, okay.
Because he's the one who said, "Don't worry, it'll go fine."
You did say that. Okay. Okay.
Santa's come to save us.
That's not what that's supposed to be.
But
I think it's supposed to be a tambourine.
that makes more sense.
Okay. So, Omega,
Yeah.
you did not crash. You and Millie hit the ground approximately the same time. Pretty safely. You take 2 points of damage when you hit the ground.
Cool.
Because you don't have a perfect parachute. It was more of a glider.
Absolutely.
But you are, for better or worse, unharmed, but further back from the ship. You're about 550 films away.
Okay. I'll just start. Actually, I'm gonna. If anybody remembers my character model, I had a little flag on the back. I'm gonna replace that flag with my dragon's wing,
Nice.
and now just start running over.
You just toss the flag aside?
I'll hold on to it
Okay.
for now. But yeah.
Yeah, the dragon wing won't rot or anything.
No, it's gonna be great. It's a symbol of intimidation.
Okay. Genbu, what are you doing?
Lightly jogging there.
So you are headed in that direction.
Yeah.
I like jump.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta get in your steps for the day. You laughing at me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And the Genbu facial expression.
Those of you, I didn't see it. Those of you who are on the ship, you're now awake, free to move and look around.
Bless you.
Blacked out when you hit the ground, but don't seem to be any worse for wear.
What's the point of having a ship if it can't fly? I don't understand. That's just stupid. Hey, is everyone all right? DX, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, Kevin. Thanks for asking.
Sherwin, you okay?
Sherman, once she's come to, she just kind of sits up and is a little bit unsteady, looks around her. She sees Emmerich. She crawls over to him and she grabs onto his breastplate and pulls him up and just, as best as she can, she gives him a punch. A punch.
Like on his face?
Yes, on his face.
Okay.
And then he dies.
I'm not gonna make you roll for it, but he was passed out until you punch him. And that wakes him up. And the first thing that he says when he sees you is, "Estinian all right?"
It's just she'll drop him. Then he can fall back, and she'll go over. She'll go over to Estinian, and then she is going to cast. Where'd it go?
I don't think where to go is the spell. What's that supposed to do?
That'd be awesome.
Don't you have that on your spell list, Kevin?
Yeah.
Not on my long spell list.
She's going to cast Aid.
In 5th edition, is Aid a medicine spell?
I think it's temp HP.
Okay.
Why
That
you
sounds right. Estinian does not get up.
I think
But
you
he's
can
fine.
actual HP with
He's
it as well.
breathing though, right?
He does appear to be breathing.
Okay, that's good.
What did you say, Sid?
Oh, I think I think you're right. Aid's the one that does the max.
Yeah, that's
HP.
the one I use to bring people up.
Yeah, it's hit
Okay.
point maximum and current hit points increased by 5.
Yep.
Up to 3 targets.
I thought you were holding a puppy.
You gave him AIDS.
Oh, that's what it was. I wanted to do healing word, not aid. I scanned
Okay.
over it.
Okay, that's fine. He still does not wake up.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything? We're not in initiative now. So just do whatever you want in whatever order.
I'll be there in about 5 minutes.
Sounds about right.
Millie's keeping an eye out for dragons in case they wanted to pick off any survivors.
I
Okay.
slowly get back up, dust myself off. Only this time my eyes are gold, not green.
Okay.
What kind of moron goes up in the air without a failsafe?
I agree, Sid. This is crazy.
Apparently, yes.
It makes no sense. What's the point of being a flying ship that doesn't fly? And then it's just a ship. I think ships go on water. That's what you said, right?
Broke up a little bit.
John, you're breaking up. Maybe you try
Yeah,
disconnecting and coming back.
yeah. Let me try that.
Okay.
Okay,
Welcome
he's
back.
gone, so...
I don't understand the problem. If it's an airship, it's supposed to fly. If a ship, an airship that doesn't fly is like a regular ship, but then you need water, and I think that's what you told me, right? Ships go on large bodies of water.
Some do, some go on air. I go wander over and kneel down by Emmerich. How long have you people been using airships?
Adam!
Decades.
And nobody thought about falling?
It's not been a problem up until now. At least not
Never
often.
been a problem? Never been a problem. You've got to be
Listen.
kidding me.
I've
I feel
tried
like
to
we have
defend.
more important things to do right now, but we are in talks with Garlemald for trading for the technology that they have.
Oh,
Just
good.
so
It's
far.
good that you mastered flying and didn't worry about the fall. That's.
Look, I mean,
Sure,
I understand
I
why
didn't
we all didn't use chocobos. Our arms would have been exhausted before we fought the dragons. But I just don't think this is the right way to do things anymore.
Perhaps you're right. Can we discuss this another time? I think we have more pressing issues.
Undoubtedly.
Kevin looks back up into the sky and is looking now for the dragons.
Okay. You don't see any immediately near you.
I'm just gonna sit down and like take a breath.
Okay. When you sit down, you realize there's no ship below you. You're on the dirt. The ship is all around you. And for the first time, after sitting down and all of you taking a breath now, looking around, you see the debris strewn all over the ground here for 300 feet that you slid. And some of the knights survived. Others, not so much. One of the knights you see is entirely impaled upon a broken piece of the mast.
That poor guy.
Thank you.
Yep. I got the two that never were in the bubble and then the impaled dude.
Another one, Estinian is currently stirring. And he opens his eyes. Well, he's got a mask on, a helmet, so you can't see that he opens his eyes. But he begins moving around, his head at least.
Is it a cup of coffee or hot chocolate?
That he's stirring.
You dusted.
A second airship falls.
Right on top of you. Just you.
It's a miniature airship, Kevin sized.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Mr. Bucket hops over towards you now. The entire bottom of the bucket is like caked in mud.
Excellent.
And sticking out of the bucket, you see the wind-up knight.
That makes me happy.
Minions are indestructible.
I look over at Millie and go, Millie, you fly?
Pretty sure your chalkboard got destroyed in the crash.
I wasn't part of the crash.
Good point.
Oars. I don't know, but if you could teach me how to fly, I'd love to learn.
This is
Is
a great
anyone else here
opportunity
can
for
fly?
Millie.
That I didn't know could fly before. I think that's something important we should all know as a group.
You definitely saw Genbu flying through the air and land without taking damage.
Oh, hey, where is Genbu? Oh, an Omega. Y'all cars.
Y'all cars.
Yar cars. Yar cars.
Speaking of Genbu,
His handwriting's better than mine.
how was the
No,
landing?
your handwriting's perfect. I'm purposely not.
But in general, her handwriting is much better than mine.
I'm surprised so many of you are intact, as there is no ship left.
I mean, there is, but it's everywhere.
Was Genbu closer than me? Have I arrived yet?
No, you would have arrived far before Ginmu did.
Yeah, I would have
Oh,
arrived
okay.
way before me.
You know, I offered to say, I said that if they needed a ride, they could hop on, but nope. Now they're dust in the wind. Well, time to move on, team. As a good leader,
That was
let's
quick.
continue on the journey.
That was quick.
Are you saying that to the group?
I'm saying that to Millie, Kevin, and Genbu.
Oh, okay, because you didn't go over to the group yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're okay. I mean, if you look over there, and I kind of point to where the rest of the people are.
Yeah, and Millie brought the people over. She's
Oh,
like
okay.
flying around, keeping an eye on potential dragons.
Okay, no.
So my 5 survivors
Yeah.
would be with the group.
Okay.
Mega, when did you get those dragon wings?
This? Just now. It ripped it off.
Ripped it off.
Not like a counterfeit. No, like I literally ripped that dead dragon that fell. Is that thing around here somewhere?
Oh, the dead dragon. All right. So before we move on, I just want to make sure if there's anyone else that can fly, or anyone else that can use dragon wings to fly, or anything else. Also, point of order, how did that slow fall thing work? This is crazy. I need to sit down again. I'm already sitting down.
Is the dragon that was falling with the ship also somewhere around us?
So, have you seen National Lampoon's Something Vacation? The one where they're going cross country? Not for Christmas, I don't think.
Vegas vacation?
It was,
Oh,
It's
Christmas
vacation.
vacation.
It's just vacation.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
where they're going to
Amusement park. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the very first
so-
one.
So remember when they forgot that they tied the dog to the bumper of their car?
Yes.
That's basically what happened to that
Oh,
dragon.
no.
So it's got like
It's
rode.
grated to pieces, like
Got
cheese
it.
grated to pieces after scraping across the ground for 300 feet.
All right, so I probably can't grab the other wing and add it to my back.
Does dragon taste like chicken? Because it's already shredded.
I mean, you're welcome to try to salvage some dragon meat.
Is that cannibalism?
Is it?
I don't know.
Okay. So, what are y'all doing? Estinian actually stands up and gets to his feet, just kind of testing if he can move around. Seems it worked.
So, what was that thing?
The eye of mine enemy. I'm gonna go look for other survivors. And he just walks off behind the ship in the direction that the gouge is.
Is this enemy named Agamotto?
No, not the eye of Agamotto.
Is his enemy named Tiger?
No, it's not the eye of the tiger either.
Who did we just lose?
Wait, no, clearly
Oh, Dylan's
he took it
video.
from the beholder in one beholder lane, because it's the eye of the beholder. We have to finish.
Well, it is beautiful.
Millie will fly around because she's got, what, a 10-minute duration on fly, I think? So zip around through the rubble and look for anything neat. Or living, but neat.
Almost everything of value has been destroyed. At this point, all you would find is salvage, which is pieces of wood,
Currency, because that wouldn't be too deformed in a crash.
The only currency that you would find would be on the bodies of the dead. There wasn't any being carried on the ship. Which, I mean, if you want to try to loot the bodies of the dead while Estinian and Emmerich are there,
No, he's looking for more nifty stuff that might have survived.
While you're flying around, you see Estinian approach a moving, injured knight. There's something wrong with the knight, and you can't really place it right away until you fly a little bit closer, and you see Estinian standing over the man, and his torso has been ripped, like, not cleanly in half, but ripped, and you see his entrails spilled out across the ground, but he's still alive.
Fun.
Like, his legs are completely, like, perpendicular
It's a
to his
Deadpool
body.
scene.
More or less. And Estinian says, you just hear Estinian, as he's taking out his lance, says, "Walk proudly in Halone's halls." And he stabs him through the chest.
Who did he stab?
A dying knight.
Oh, I was about to start healing people.
I think this one was beyond your care. 1 XP out of him.
That was just enough for Estinian to level up.
Yeah. I'm fully healed all of a sudden. No, Estinian comes back to the ship limping and very, like heavily breathing. We should keep going. So, out of character, because of your efforts and some of your efforts in slowing the ship, you are much further along and closer to your goal than you would have been.
Wait,
So you should get like 5,000 feet worth of encounters.
Did you say keep going? I mean, even if we get there, how are we gonna get back?
We walk. Or we ask the assistance of the Gridanians. They're not too far from here.
Hold on. So what you're saying is this group of a bunch of battered soldiers and our group, you want us to continue on?
Our mission doesn't end just because we've been injured.
I thought
If you died, would it end?
For us, for the dead, it would end, yes. It's far too important. It's far too important for us to continue.
You mean to not continue?
No, it is far too important. We must continue.
I mean, I guess
Humans have the weirdest way of speaking.
there's no reason not to keep going forward, I guess. I mean, anything else we should know? Like airships can't fly at some point, or dragons are actually really big and not small little creatures? I think I'd want to know.
Wait, I misunderstood what you just asked. Can you repeat that? Because I only heard, like I got like half of it, but I think I missed the beginning.
No, right. Like I said, is there anything else we should know? For example, that outside of airships can't fly all the time, or dragons are actually bigger than the palm of your hand. Anything else that's going to be important for this trip?
Did you actually believe that dragons were the size of the palm of your hand?
Yeah. When I saw them, when we were crossing the castle, I put my hand up in the sky, and they were only about the size of my hand.
Spatial relations are lost on you, I see.
Many things.
I'm sorry, I'm married. I do not want a relationship. What is it with everyone around here trying to get in a relationship with me?
Kevin, this might not be the right time to ask, but at one point when we were falling, did you say something about murdering your firstborn?
No. That's preposterous. Murdering your firstborn? Why would someone do that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Paul's fine, I'm sure, Kevin. Don't worry about it.
What if
Thank
a
you.
bush were on
Thanks,
fire
DX.
and told you to do so?
That's right. Paul is fine. My second born, Eliza, is fine. I would never murder Paul.
Or Eliza.
I would never murder Paul or Eliza. Good, right, DX, or Eliza.
Okay. All right. What are you planning to do? Because Estinian and Emmerich have made it very clear that they intend to continue on.
Well, guys, I don't think we really have a choice. I mean, even if we wanted to go back, we don't know the way. We don't know what we're going to face on the way back. And we are people of our word. We did promise we'd help them with this dragon thing. And I say we go do it.
Tell me, were those dragons that we dealt with up there the ones we were targeting in the first place?
There would have been some of them, yes. And I must commend all of you. You were effective in dispatching several of those dragons. Should make our job easier.
If you say so, but to be perfectly clear with you, I'm having a hard time trying to trust you these days.
Well, I have a question that is probably fairly relevant. So we are fighting these dragons specifically because they've been attacking airships. Correct?
Yes, they've been harassing our airships and killing our men.
And you thought it was a great idea for us to embark on an airship with no means of landing safely, should said airship be rendered inoperable.
The airship that we took was smaller and stealthier than the airships that were being attacked by the dragons before. The intent was to slip under their view and attack their stronghold.
Well, how'd the dragons even know we were coming?
Probably because we were in the air, which they rule.
When Kevin says this, Emmerich and Estinian look at each other, very quickly glance at each other, and then look away.
I would like to roll insight.
Sure.
Was it a subtle motion or a...
It's more like a...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I got an 18.
Yeah. So, I mean, not something hugely obvious, because I'm still looking at Eye of Dragon, so I wouldn't...
So you saw the glance, Genbu, between the two of them, and they seem to either be very annoyed with what Kevin said, or they have something that they're keeping from him.
What was that glance you two just stole? I know you're not lovers in the night.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, they're allowed to be lovers in the night. That's fine.
Fair point, Kevin. I do not believe they are, though. What do you know that you are not telling us?
Emmerich, we need to continue on or find shelter. Standing out here arguing with this group is not doing us any good.
Well, we can converse while we look for shelter.
Actually, we're really good at talking while we walk.
Then let us do so. Make haste.
I'm not the best cook, although I can cook. What exactly goes in haste?
Jesus Christ, John. How do you always do this? You and Eric, I swear to God. I guess you can make dad jokes now because you're a dog dad.
I'm a dog dad. No, it's just Kevin. He's just really dumb.
Kevin is a dad.
Beautifully dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a dad. Good point.
Especially because he's a
Kevin makes
different
bad jokes
shade of
without
dumb
actually
than
trying.
Calyx was.
Yeah, Kevin is yet to make very many jokes this campaign, okay? He's asking earnestly.
No, I believe it, but out of character, it's amazing. What were you saying,
thanks.
Eric?
I just said Kevin makes dad jokes without trying to make dad jokes.
There you go. Okay. Estinian, just begins walking to the west, or the east, rather. Excuse me.
Or you could not answer Gabu's question. I guess we'll walk.
Herb is gonna run after him and just sort of tug on him and say, no, you don't. Wait, hold on. Genbu's right. Whatever it is you two are hiding from us, you need to tell us everything, because we came here under the assumption that we would be safe in the freaking airship surrounded by dragons, going to fight dragons in a freaking airship. You assured me and my group that we would be fine. And you knew that we would not be fine if we were happened to be attacked by the dragons, but you didn't tell us this. So, going forward, if you expect us to help you, you need to tell us everything you know.
You can't see his eyes because they're beneath his mask, but his head is turned towards you, and his lips are pursed like in the most annoyed, angry way. Ask your question.
What are you telling us?
There's a great many things I'm not telling you. Many of which are for the security of Ishgard. Some just for my own security. Some for the security of all of us the world over. Which
Don't
ones would you
be
like me
coy.
to divulge to you?
Don't be coy. You know exactly what I'm asking you. Tell us.
Emmerich, I'm going on ahead. Ratted?
Like, ratted us out to the dragons.
Oh. That's interesting. Estinian just yanks himself from your grasp, with ease, in fact, and just continues on. But Emmerich, slightly limping and helping some of the other knights, the surviving knights, get to their feet and orient themselves.
All one of them.
No, there were a
The
few.
5 that came with me were just fine, though. Only one survived of that group. The other guy got impaled.
No, there were 3 that were in the bubble.
2 were in the bubble. 2 were the ones that are. One was tied to the ship. One.
There were 3 in the bubble.
Yeah,
One of them
I
that was tied to the ship, one that got impaled.
Okay, so then there's. Well, because I took one.
Not including your 5, there's 3 other knights. There's 8 total knights that live.
Okay.
You were about to say something?
Who?
I thought Sid was about to say something. Okay. Well, Emmerich is just helping them to their feet, making sure that they can walk. One of the knights just stumbles off to the side and just vomits everywhere.
Gross.
But he collects himself and wipes his mouth off, and he comes back to the group and he kind of looks everybody over the eye. This was one of the nights that this was not Gondolin. Gondolin's dead, but it was one of the nights that was laughing at Gondolin when he was like heckling, and now he looks over the group and says, "You fought valiantly. Thank you for your help."
Well, let's follow Estinian because splitting up is never a good idea.
I agree. I may be more forthcoming if you have questions. Keep in mind, I cannot tell you everything.
What is that crystal ball that Estinian is holding that looks like a cat's eye?
I just couldn't hear you. What was that?
So what is that crystal ball that Estinian is always holding that looks like a cat's eye?
He looks around at the knights that are there, that are surviving, and he says to them specifically, "Anything that you hear is to be kept in the strictest confidence, and know that saying a word, breathing a word of what you hear, is treason. Is that understood?" And all of the knights kind of just look at each other and, like, nod weakly.
Oh, that was from Emmerich to the Knights.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then he turns to you and says, "You are not citizens of Ishgard, so I cannot threaten your lives with treason."
Well, wait a minute.
What?
We've already been on trial for treason.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that objected to it.
I know, but
Yes.
he could if he was an asshole. That's all I'm saying.
I trust you to be wise with what you are about to hear.
Kevin, plug your ears.
Got it.
Is Kevin plugging his ears?
No.
Does anybody respond to him when he says that?
Of course.
You know, they'll do the zip lips thing. Gesture.
And Estinian, or Emmerich, in spite of everything that's gone on, stifles a laugh and then points at your chalkboard.
She'll erase what she was writing.
Thank you. I love that interaction. That was good. Okay, so did we lose somebody? We lost Dylan, I think.
Yeah, he said he had to go to work.
Oh.
And now we
Yeah,
just lost somebody else.
That was Adam.
That was probably Adam.
It's good to have Dylan for a little while.
Yeah, Sherbin's still mean mugging Emmerich.
Okay.
Sid
You
seems
judge that.
remarkably unconcerned about this whole thing.
Who'd you say?
For- I said Sid seems remarkably unconcerned about this whole thing for Sid.
Are you just happy that you didn't die from falling? Is that what's going on?
He's just kind of looking around, watching everybody.
You are a citizen of Ishgard, and you are expected to keep your mouth shut.
He just rolls his eyes. Go on.
Ask your questions as we walk, and I will answer.
Well, I think first was the eye thing, the tiger eye. But I want to know what y'all never answered. If we were supposed to take some stealthy ship, then how come the dragons found us?
Well, previously it was only an assumption that this might be possible, but it seems to be confirmed at this point. The dragons were able to track our movements because of the eye that Estinian holds.
Well, why the heck did they bring the eye?
Was that sarcasm?
Yes.
Thanks.
No, said Emmerich.
Oh, you did that to Emmerich? No. What was that, Kevin?
Well, then why the heck did they bring the eye? I mean, I'm not the smartest person here, but clearly if the dragons could track it, you wouldn't want it on the ship, right?
Did you see Estinian fight?
Yes.
Despite what your feelings about him may be, would you agree that it was impressive what he could do?
I was below deck, so I did not see it. However, that was probably still a bad idea.
I mean, yeah, he did.
To see him fight if he hadn't been here.
He did jump and like impale the dragon and jump back to the ship. That was pretty badass.
The Azure Dragoon draws his power from the eye of a great worm.
Sorry, the what? And the who?
He said
sure,
a great worm, you know, those things that wiggle underground.
No, well, we talked about this. They have weird names for things. Apparently worms are dragons now. I don't know.
The Azure Dragoon is the title of Estinian. He gets
So
his
it's-
power from the eye.
So is there like a white and black and red and pink and green and yellow dragoon as well?
Don't be absurd. There's only so many eyes to go around.
So you're saying the dragons can kind of like know where the eye is, and he has one of the eyes. So wouldn't the dragons know where we are right now?
They might. They might not.
Maybe we don't want to catch up to Estinian.
What? So he draws his power from the eyeball thing, and he's no good without the eye?
He is still a formidable fighter, but the extent of his abilities will be greatly diminished were he not to use the eye.
Is there any way to mask the presence of the eye?
Well, until now it had not been a problem, but perhaps we can brainstorm something once we find shelter.
The simple silk cloth, according to Lord of the Rings.
Do you have any other questions?
Are you all right? Do you need some sort of healing so you can walk normal?
I think I have a broken rib, but I could walk.
All right, last question. Any other secrets we should know about before we head off and try to fight these dragons?
Nothing that I can think of or that I care to divulge at the moment. Nothing that is important to our mission.
Have you done any reconnaissance on how many dragons there are? And
We did.
based on what we've encountered, how many should be left?
Well, subtracting those that we killed, I would estimate that we have 15 to 20 of the smaller dragons remaining, and one large one.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Let's get walking.
Yeah, you have been walking.
Yeah,
Let's
we've been
continue
walking.
walking.
So Millie is gonna fly over, basically just like flying a few feet off the ground to be taller than, just like a foot taller than the 5 knights that she rescued, and she writes that.
Oh my god. The knights just kind of look at each other, and then they look at Emmerich.
Oh my gosh.
They look at Emmerich, and Emmerich just shakes his head. Says nothing else. Does anyone else have any other questions while Emmerich is being forthcoming?
Did you see my superhero landing?
How big is your...
Wow.
Oh, did the... what was the gear of the soldiers? Were they... Not the dead ones, like the ones we have right now, are they equipped for combat, or was it strictly like...
It's combat.
Okay.
Combat gear, for sure. They're in full armor.
Sword and board?
Mm-hmm.
Millie's scribbling.
No.
Oh.
The only sword and board is Emmerich. The rest of them have spears.
Spears and fears.
Damn. Hard to graffiti on a spear.
I don't know. There's more of a canvas than a sword.
In
It's
your
just
But it's round, so that makes it difficult.
So the first thing that you notice as you're walking along is the area that you're in is much more temperate than the climes that you've come from. This is more akin to the Dravanian hinterlands in terms of clear skies and approximately like a 70 degrees with a slight breeze.
Cool. Millie dumps all her stupid cold weather clothes in the bag of holding.
Okay.
This is
Hello.
very pleasant. I much prefer this to your hometown.
Many would. Would you believe that there was a point where Ishgard was just as temperate as this?
I mean, I'd believe many things. Not if Kevin said it, but
Well done. Okay. All right. So, I'm assuming you have no other questions, nothing else that you want to know. What?
Millie writes, does he know anything about holy relics of Halone?
That was weird.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah. Holy relics of Halone. I'm not sure what you might be referring to. There are some within the vaults, as I understand. I'm afraid I have no idea. I'm sorry. Religion and magics, most magics, are beyond my ken. Oh. I said most magics are beyond my ken. That is an ability that I learned while training as a paladin, and he takes out this small bluish white colored stone, and it looks like it has a shield etched into it. My soul stone taught me the abilities of paladins of ages past. All those who held the stone before me.
Does it look, what does it look like it's made out of?
It's pretty impossible to decipher. It just looks like it kind of looks like melted glass,
Gotcha.
but stronger.
So it's not clearly, it's made of sapphires, or it's made of rubies.
No.
Or... Gotcha.
The material is unknown to you.
it's made of souls, duh.
Let me find a picture of it.
It looks like a guitar pick.
Kind of. Alright, it's in the chat. If you want to see it. Alright.
Sherbin's gonna look up at Emmerich. and just sort of tell him like sternly, don't think this is the last time we're going to be expecting you to be forthcoming with us. This is not a one-time thing. If we're going to be having a partnership, a good partnership, we need to make sure that we're both on the same page. Understand?
Well, we'd have to survive in order to have a continuing partnership. Do you not agree?
And it would help if we started being on the same page in order to survive.
If you have a question, ask it of me. I cannot say that once we are underway, there will be time to answer sensitive questions.
You will make time.
We'll see.
Hey, Sir Turmeric, are you single?
I am single, yes.
I just
Why is
wondering.
that
No reason. I just continue walking.
flattered, Devin, but I'm not interested.
I'm married.
I'm sure he's a wonderful person.
But thank you. Speaking of, you don't know about my wife. Her name's Georgina Twain. I mean, we met at a very young age, and he's going to start just trailing off, talking about his life and his kids and life back on the farm.
All right. After you've been walking for approximately an hour, you catch up with, Sidian stops and you catch up with him. And he's found a cave, and he's begun collecting firewood.
And that's why I think Popotos are the best thing to farm. I mean, really, is there anything better?
No, Kevin, nothing better than Popotos.
Nothing better. Oh, speaking of, I got some here if you'd like some. Straight from my farm. Well, if you need some Popotos, you ask. Happy to give you some.
Emmerich or Estinian that Kevin's popotoing about?
To Emmerich.
Oh, okay.
I'll linger back and fall into step by Millie and kind of lean down and talk. Well,
she's in
well.
the air.
Not anymore.
It's only a 10-minute spell, so she's very sad that she can't fly anymore.
Little Miss Mischief, you did pretty well back there, you know.
Clue was involved.
We'll look to see if Emmerich or Estinian is watching, and assuming they're just looking forward.
Emmerich and Estinian are talking to each other, and they are, like, pointing in the distance.
And she's going to hold open her bag and show the 4 aether crystals for the cannons and the 1 for the ship. Just be like...
I figured you'd pick up a few things. You know, you and I spoke a little bit before when we were in Dusk Vigil. I don't know if we ever were formally introduced, though. Aurelian Verdelay at your service.
Millie's just going to squint at him. Does he still have the gold eyes instead of green?
This is juicy.
Yep.
I'm going to erase that in a sec. She's going to ask that of Emmerich when this is over.
Whatever they decide to punish you with, usually it's treason and summary execution.
Gross. So back to Sid. I'll keep character sheet. Spelled like that.
Well done. You have a good ear. I don't have much time to talk, but I figured I'd just say hello. And, if we all survive this, maybe you ask Alcido about what's going on. He pats her on the head and just walks away.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything this time?
Probably getting ready to set up camp, right?
Yeah, okay. So, Estinian's gathered firewood and he set up a fire, like, underneath the mouth of the cave. So it's like, it's close enough to the outside that the smoke won't fill the cave, but also somewhat hidden from prying eyes. The cave is damp and it's cramped, and you can't necessarily stand all the way up in certain parts of it, but it's providing shelter from the wind, which is not super strong right now, and night is coming on. So Estinian and Emmerich and the knights are sitting around the fire. What are the rest of you deciding to do at this point?
I'm going to sit around the fire as well and lighten the mood by doing a perfect impersonation of Emmerich. Using my actor feat.
Doing what?
Awesome.
Just chatting.
Okay. In spite of himself, Emmerich laughs at you. It's not a bad impersonation.
Oh, thank you. I've been listening a lot.
Do I really sound like that?
As per 5th edition rules, you sound exactly like that.
Ah. Well. Shall we discuss the plan from here?
Yeah, I think it'd be good if we had a plan.
Emmerich tells me that he told you of my secret.
Oh, you mean the eye thing? Yeah, that's sort of weird, isn't it? Having an eye that attracts dragons.
I feel had we known prior to the attack, we definitely could have anticipated it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the life of like 20 soldiers is on your hands, but it's kind of your fault, is what I'm trying to say.
Jesus. Don't you think I know that, idiot?
I don't know. I mean,
That was very Zoolander-y, by the way.
there's a lot of things that I feel like you may not know. I mean, I think it would have been nice to have known that your thing attracts dragons.
We had no proof that it was actually attracting the dragon, just that Breacher would know where his eye was.
But anyway, what do you think the plan is now? Are we just gonna use your eye thing to like lure the dragons into the cave so we can fight them here?
The thought crossed my mind, but no, dragons are not fools. They are smart enemies. They would
Right.
send, if anything, they would send a small force to attack, while the more important dragons would stay behind.
Plus, they can breathe fire, and being in a cave where fire is being breathed into is generally not healthy.
Wait, dragons can breathe fire? That would have been nice to know before we started heading out too.
Amongst other things.
Look, Vritra and his minions would have no idea where we were had I not had to use the eye for protection. That's all.
All right, so
But
what's
if
your?
I used it to save all of you, then they wouldn't have found us.
I appreciate it.
David. Would Turbin and I know who Virtra was?
The entire group's heard the name Vritra.
Didn't it fly overhead at one point?
Yeah.
That's what, well, they said that it was Vritra. You don't have any confirmation it was.
Big ass dragon.
Yes. And did you show him that?
Well, that was to directly,
Estinian?
yeah, asking that to Estinian amidst that conversation.
Give the enemy half his power back. Yes, that would certainly bring peace once he's eliminated every single one of us.
So, wait, how long has it been since you've had that eye?
It's been passed down from Azure Dragoon to Azure Dragoon for centuries.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking maybe, maybe because you have the eye, it's pissing the dragons off, and that's why they're attacking, but why are they attacking us again?
Vreetra's motives are unknown to us.
Wait,
The rest
does
of the dragons we have an accord with.
does Vitra only know where you are if you use the eye?
That is what we believe to be the case now, yes.
So then how did the other dragons find us before you used it?
I used it before you got on the airship for protection.
What were you doing with it?
Casting a protection spell on the airship.
It didn't seem to work very well.
Yes, that may have had the
You'd not be
opposite
here
effect
had I
of what you
not done
intended.
No, it did not. We've learned lessons the hard way. Anything else you want to berate me for?
I don't know. It was kind of messed up that you walked ahead of everyone, like you huffed off, like you were like my daughter not getting a meal when she wanted. But I think that's it. Nothing else I need to. What'd you say? Berate you about?
Well, in the time that we've known you, you have not once taken off your armor, which means you probably need a bath.
I've been told as much.
Oh dear.
Well, let me get back. Yo, Professor Sid, can he take a bath? I mean, I had a wonderful bath.
It'd be kind of difficult to do while we're not back at home, Kevin.
I mean, the pubic rub was just so wonderful. Never been so clean in my life.
What about that?
The what?
It was that pubic stone, remember?
Oh, I know. I'm asking in character.
Yeah, that'll be towards. Well, to everyone.
Millie, I love your penchant for mischief. However, one, you don't know how, and two, that's likely to bite off more than we can chew.
I don't know what you're talking about, but hey, Asclaflonian, when we have the fight, you're gonna use the eye to kill that worm, right?
I intend to kill Vritra as soon as I am able, yes. It's the only way of bringing an end to this damnable war.
Got it. And how does that eye work? Like, if you're trying to kill something, like, how long do you need to like prep for it? Like, can we just trust that you're gonna kill it in like 6 seconds, or it's gonna take more than 6 seconds to kill it?
Kevin, I choose to ignore your inane question.
Millie's gonna go dig in the bag of holding that Sid's got to pull out her dragon skull that she got from the Beholder Cave. And she wants... is Justinian holding the orb? Is it like in
It's
his...
implanted in his armor.
Okay, but it's visibly...
Yeah.
So she's gonna hold up the skull to it, just so we can get a frame of reference between the eye socket of Little Dragon to eye socket of whatever the hell.
The dragon skull that you have is much too small to house the eye.
Well, right, not for that intent, but just to see, like, it's clearly 15 times bigger.
To use a real-world comparison, the eye socket of that dragon and your skull and the skull that you have is the size of a golf ball, while the one that Estinian has is the size of a softball.
Gotcha.
Poe, does Sid have eidetic memory?
He does not.
You don't have like perfect memory.
Mm-mm.
I thought you said you had something like that when it came to maps.
He remembers a map. Oh, wait, what is it? Let me look at the... He has enough total.
It's the background trait,
It's,
right?
yeah, it's just from maps and it's not like total.
Cartography based stuff.
Yeah.
In that case, you know from where you currently are? You are approximately 200 malms from Gridania.
Well, it seems like we're not. We're roughly, I would say, 200 malms from Gridania-ish, if your map was right that we got a chance to look at before.
You planning to abandon us? Turn tail and run.
Not run, but given the situation we find ourselves in now, it'd be foolish of us not to realize all of our options.
We have one option. Stop the dragons that are attacking our airships, or soon we will have no supplies. No supplies means we starve to death, or we lose this war quickly.
Well, perhaps we could garner some assistance from Gridania.
The Leaf Eaters will not help us. Not
No,
the way that
it might help us.
These are the men and women that you decided to hire, Emmerich. Emmerich doesn't say anything, just kind of looks down.
Anyway, what is the plan? Because you said something about that like at least 10 minutes ago, and I've still yet to hear what the plan's supposed to be.
Oh, good. Well, we're getting to the planning stage. Wonderful. Well, and as soon as he says that, he like holds out his hand, pointing to Emmerich, and Emmerich says, "Right." He stands up and he grabs a twig and he starts drawing in the sand. Says, "This is the stronghold. It's northeast of us from where we are, approximately 100 miles or so. As far as we can tell, they have not accosted any Gridanians unless the Gridanians are sending their airships to Ishgar, which they have ceased doing in the last year. However, we believe that the reason that they've done this is to mask their location, and they're hiding as close as they can to the races of men to avoid us finding them. However, we did find them. Or at least our intelligence says where they are. Once we get there, there will be a powerful dragon, one of Reacher's lieutenants. Our aim is to take out that dragon. If we are able to stealthily get inside of the stronghold that is there, which we believe are ruins from an ancient civilization, then we should be able to get to and dispatch of the lieutenant as quickly as possible. Any questions?
Will taking out the lieutenant demoralize the rest of them?
If we take out the lieutenant, then we believe that the rest of the dragons will scatter without leadership.
Is the goal to wipe out the entire enclave or just the lieutenant?
I'll kill every damn dragon if I have to. But it might be more prudent to simply cut off the head, so to speak.
It sounds easy enough.
Yes. Well, anything else?
You said it was how many moms away? Oh, you didn't say. You didn't say. The secret hideaway is how many moms away?
Approximately 100 miles.
Got it.
Do we know anything about this Lieutenant Dragon?
Yes, we do.
Go on.
Oh, I wasn't aware that you had any knowledge of our enemy.
No, that was. I was asking you. Do we know? And meaning, you included. Do we know anything about this dragon?
I understand what you were asking, but should I tell it to you, will you actually understand the meaning?
I'm going to choke you.
Well, calm down there. Calm down there.
Alright, I don't think she heard that.
Esclafoni, I think it's only fair if you tell us everything about this dragon, if it's going to help us kill it.
If it shuts you up.
I can't make any promises.
The dragon's name is Tiamat. She is constantly believed to be the consort of Ritra. One of them, at least. She's ferocious.
That's not going to end well. At all. I can promise you that.
One of the few dragons I know, this is not Kevin speaking, is Tiamat. Sucks.
What was that?
It's one of the actual dragons I know.
Tiamat?
Tiamat?
What David said.
Not Tiamat. Tioman. Tioman.
Oh, don't know this dragon.
Right.
Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, Tiamat would be end of campaign for you.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we're doing this now. Sure thing.
Episode 1 of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Is that what happened?
They fight Tiamat, like the second they get their powers, Tiamat shows
The
up.
opening credits.
I was gonna run away.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the opening credits. It's like
And
barbarian,
now
acrobat.
that you say that, it sounds familiar. Okay.
Worst DM ever in that show.
But he's got the best costume.
Yes.
Is it the one with the cone hat?
No, he's a bald guy. Just got the hair that runs around the scalp. He's got like the red robes.
Oh my gosh.
And you can buy a Halloween costume that comes with the wig and the bald cap and wig.
Look like a friar.
Pretty much.
Okay. So you now have quite a bit of knowledge. Do you have other questions before we progress?
What are we going to do when we kill his girlfriend? You know he's not going to be happy about that.
No, probably not. Would he be brave enough to attack Ishgard with all of our defenses intact? Hopefully he'd be foolish enough to do so. We
So
intend to
really-
provoke a response. That's the plan.
So that's the plan. You want to poke the bear with the stick by killing his consort.
Yes. Because this bear can fly and picks us off one by one. Sometimes 10 by 10. So, we can sit back and just allow that to happen for centuries, or we can force his hand. Which sounds better to you?
I apologize if I missed it, but we're supposed to be taking a stealthy approach again. Well, were you able to do that with you holding the eye?
If I don't use the eye's power until we're there, then Breacher will not know exactly where we are. So it is believed. We can get there in a day.
100 miles in a day?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, better need some rest then, if we're going to travel that kind of distance.
Yes, we'll rest here. Tomorrow morning, at first light, we'll make for Falgord Float. It's an outpost where we can rent chocobos.
Not a bad thought.
We hope so. Several of us are dead. Like you hear some of the other knights just kind of under their breaths mutter some kind of prayer to Halone for their dead friends.
Millie's gonna look at her misfits with pride because she saved them.
Well, I've got nothing else for the night.
Is it late or just late enough and we're all fucked up?
You're exhausted because of the ordeal. It's like 7 p.m.
Okay, cool.
I suggest you all get good night's sleep. We'll be out first.
Before we go to bed, what's the watch status? Who's standing guard?
We'll handle the guard.
Just like you handled the airship? Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed.
Are you sure I can't impale that one, Emmerich? Are you sure?
We'll
down with
talk later.
Wait, what?
Said we'll talk later.
What the fuck? So as you guys are getting ready, for the first time you actually see Stinian take off his helmet and unstrap his armor and sets it off to the side, and he takes out oil from his pack and like a water basin, and he pours water in the basin, cleans up his face and his hair. He's got long streaming silver white hair, and he puts it up into a ponytail with a bit of twine. And then, I think I've shown you a picture of what he looks like without his helmet, right?
Well, I believe he took off his helmet when he came to the house.
Yeah.
When Emmerich said, like, don't
But
be
not
rude.
everybody was there.
That's true.
So this
Because
is,
only the people in the form.
yeah, I don't remember exactly who was there, but I know that there were several people that were missing. So, he takes off his helmet, takes off his armor, uses the oil, and begins cleaning his armor with the oil, and like, especially like around the joints, etc. But underneath that, he's just wearing like simple tunic. But he's always keeping a watchful eye towards the mouth of the cave. But
How big is this cave?
not very big. Maybe the size of my apartment.
And in one chamber? Or are
Yeah,
there
one
side
chamber.
chambers? Okay.
And the ceiling is low.
So I want to kind of go around the camp and see if anybody needs some healing before we take what I presume is going to be a long rest.
Yeah. Emmerich asks if you've seen to everyone else, made sure that they were healed first.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at everyone.
Some of the knights like show you wounds that they have. One of them is missing an entire finger, but is otherwise mostly unharmed. Several of them have pretty deep scratches, like slashing wounds and things of the like. Nobody tremendously like life-threateningly harmed. The
Except for Habsy.
Well, it's not. He's not with you.
What do you mean?
Oh, the one with the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, he was Habsy before the other guy was
Right. He's been
bifurcated.
He's been healed though, like to the point where his arm got cauterized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he needs some help too. So yeah, the guy with one arm needs help. But after you've seen to them and given them a bit of healing, what are you using to heal them? Is it a healing word?
Healing word, yeah.
Okay.
And all I'm doing is just patting them on the shoulder and saying, "Buck up."
That's it. Just buck up.
Just buck up.
All right.
I thought you said fuck off at first, and I'm like, I mean, verbal components.
Okay.
I believe it also an appropriate phrase is just walk it off.
Walk it off. Is he dead? Walk it off. And finally, once everyone else has received treatment, Emmerich says, I believe I could use some help. And he takes off his armor, and he has a rib protruding out the side of his body.
God.
That looks uncomfortable.
Sid, make a will save. Feel the rib.
It's not Sid right now. Or is Sid back now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Ah, damn.
So I'm going to help. I'm gonna help set that rib and put it back in his chest and set it, and then heal him.
Okay. He bites down on a piece of cloth. And you push the broken rib back into his body, approximately where it's supposed to go, and you use healing word on him, which is not necessarily something that would work to.
I'm using a level 3 healing word.
Okay, I would say that would begin to set and heal the bone, and close up the wound. It's not perfect, definitely not perfect, but he's in better shape than he was. This entire time, he didn't complain about it, and he's been walking around helping other people with a rib sticking out of his body. Just want to point that out.
So would you say I've cast like 4 healing words on people now?
Yeah, at least.
We'll say I did 3 first levels, a second level, and gave him that 3rd level there.
Alright. Thank you for your help. I feel much better already.
Yes, chin up. And with that, I give him another 1st level.
He probably needs it, to be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. One of the knights just goes, to be fair! Alright. So, any last things before you go to bed? Anyone?
Nope, nothing for me. Get ready to sleep.
Okay.
Someone dig a hole in case Kevin has an emergency.
Millie's gonna go back in the bag of holding and grab one of the dragon gems that are wrapped in rope, and then she's gonna go out of the cave. Like, is it a mountain with a little hole in the side, or is it a hill with a hole in the side? Like, what are we talking terrain?
More than a hill, less than a mountain.
Okay, but it could be easily just climbed up a bit.
It's kind of sheer.
So it's kind of like a cliffside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for, yes. You can scale it.
But it's not level enough to work on stuff on top of it. It's too steep.
Yeah.
Okay, then she's just gonna go out of the cave and around the corner, and then she'll cast Silent Image to completely mimic the terrain, I think at 50 feet from the cave, and then hide within the mimicked terrain, basically as an illusory bubble to hide her
How long
presence.
does that last for?
It's 10 minutes.
So you're just hiding it in an illusion for 10 minutes?
Yeah, so when I work on
Millie's
something for
hiding in a mimic.
What was that, Eric?
Millie's hiding in a mimic.
Nice.
Yeah, she just wants. They haven't taken a moment to look at the crystals more, so she wants to see if she can get any understanding of what they can do. You know, that she's a little more experienced with machinist things and working with Aether.
The
And seeing
frostbite
about-
crystals?
Yeah, the frostbite crystals. And then seeing like if she takes one, not touching it herself, but touches it to one of her chakrams, does the chakram get cold?
No.
Okay. Then she'll touch it to like some growing plant, some foliage.
It gets frostbitten.
Interesting. She'll also touch it to the see what happens. The aether, the wind aether crystal.
Mhm.
Just touch it and see if there's any interaction.
No effect.
Fire crystals.
No effect.
Hmm.
Stop yawning. That's not allowed.
Mr. Bucket.
Falls in the bucket. Nothing happens.
No, just touches the bucket.
The wind-up knight looks at you like, the fuck? And then goes back. Sometimes you think this wind-up knight is more than a robotic little toy.
I love them.
How about some water? Millie?
Yeah, I mean she's got a water skin.
No effect on the water.
Yeah. Then she's just gonna see if she can just get some idea of, like, I guess trying to attune to it. That
Cannot
process.
attune to it. Okay. You
But-
gotta have the ability
okay.
to attune to it.
Yeah. Then she'll tie it back up and go back to the cave. Did the other guards, soldiers, take off their armor as well?
Yes. To sleep. Except for the ones that are keeping watch. So they're in teams of 2 keeping watch.
At the
And
entrance?
at the entrance. And Estinian is also awake for quite a bit of the time, but once he finishes cleaning his armor, he lays down to sleep.
Cool.
He only sleeps for about 4 hours, though.
So it takes roughly 10 minutes to change the watch, right? As they
Sure.
don and doff their armor.
Yeah, more or less.
Millie's gonna put a pink chalk M on her 5 Misfit uniforms. Not defacing any of the existing Ishgardian iconography, but just in like a like if it's like if they have something on their back, she'll put it like on their shoulder or something.
She's putting it exactly where your
Your
Grand
branding.
Company symbol goes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's too bad you don't get your free company on that stuff. Okay.
That's it. Then the crystals go back in the bag.
Okay. Too bad you don't have identify. Did I miss anything?
Nope. No, I'm just gonna get ready for bed and get a good night's sleep.
You don't take that?
Not here in this cave.
Does that mean that you gain...
A low fatigue, yeah.
Okay. I'm letting you handle that part.
Oh, I've always been doing it. I've been doing disadvantage on my own. So.
Happy. Thanks for that.
Kevin is sound asleep.
Okay. Well,
And Sid is actually fully asleep.
Ditto.
but
But other Sid is not.
I don't know why I'm blanking all of a sudden, but remind me your brother's name?
Aurelian.
Aurelian. Okay. So, Sid's asleep, but Aurelian's awake?
Nope, just actually that the being that is Sid is asleep.
Got it. What are you saying?
No,
That's his brother?
You don't know that in character. I'm sorry. That's not a character. That's the second time I've done that to you, Poe. I'm sorry.
All right, it's cool. It's cool.
I realized it as soon as I said it.
It's cool.
The little wind-up knight, was it Sword and Shield wind-up knight?
Yes.
Or okay.
I'm sorry, man. I feel
No,
really bad
it's
now.
good. It's okay. Yeah.
All right.
This is actually worse because I can't do anything about it in game, and I know it.
Well, good.
How much sovereign paint bucket do I have left?
None. You lost it when the. Oh, you didn't crash.
Nope.
We'll say that after what you spent, you have an eighth of the sovereign glue left, which is enough for one application.
Cool.
And somehow you managed not to stick your hand to the ship as it was falling.
Paintbrush might be stuck to the ship. But...
Nope, the special brushes that come with sovereign glue do not stick to the glue. They're coated in the universal solvent.
I'm just gonna write down one use.
Pretty sure that's the lore of it, is that they're coated in universal solvent so you can apply the sovereign glue, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure if not in 5th edition, that was definitely an older edition's explanation.
Yeah. Anyway, morning comes. Estinian is fully armored again and awake, but he has his helmet off, hair up in a ponytail, and he's cooking breakfast. It smells like it's beans and bacon.
Kevin's not allowed to have any of that. Beans.
Rude. Yeah. Well, what's the plan, guys?
Get up, get dressed, have some breakfast.
Okay. I'm just giving you guys every opportunity to do what you want to do. So I'm not trying to move the story forward too fast. Is what I'm getting at here.
This is called Gulch, something Gulch.
What's that? Brecky Sandos?
Fall gourd float.
I didn't get that even remotely right. That's what I asked. How far to that?
That one's about 20 miles away. No, 15 miles. 15 miles. What did you say, Dustin?
Said we're making Brecky Sandos?
Are you?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Justinian made beans and bacon. If you got some bread that you want to spread that on, go ahead.
What are they, British?
Beans on toast. Here's a recipe for beans on toast. Cook the beans. Cook some toast. Spread the beans on the toast.
I'll never understand beans on toast. I don't know how it's a breakfast thing. But then again, I don't know how donuts are a breakfast item. So.
Exactly. Donuts are dessert.
Dessert, 100%.
Bagels, though.
Bagels are an any day item, but typically
I miss
breakfast.
bagels. I miss bagels very much. They bring bagels into the office every Friday morning.
No.
I can't eat them.
Curse.
Anyway, yes. You're about to say something?
Huh? Me?
Sherbin, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I was just thinking about the garlic nuts that I have in the fridge.
Oh my gosh. It was right down your face. Okay.
Sid wakes up, shuffles his way to the fire, holding his head a little bit. Eyes are back to green.
Interesting.
Do we have any coffee?
Coffee's in the pot. All right.
Goes it.
The entire company, your entire group, having been fed at this point, dons their armor and their gear and prepares to vacate the cave, clears up any evidence that they were there, puts dirt over the fire. All right. We've got to walk to Fallgourd Float. From there, I'll barter us some chocobos. We take the chocobos to our destination. They're
Was
known
that a
for
long
training the chocobos well. What?
Was that a long rest we had?
Yes.
Okay.
8 hours.
Alright, we're level 12 now, right?
I mean, I was thinking about letting you guys get to level 7, but it's too soon after you begged me to be level 6, so... Yeah.
Would unfortunately agree.
Yeah.
I will show you a nipple pic.
It depends. Is it yours?
Yes.
Then no.
What
But see,
about both of
now
them?
he just rephrases and says, I will show you a nipple pic. Unless.
Yeah, that's not enough. I have the internet. Okay. So, what are y'all doing? Are you just letting me walk you guys to this place?
Well, I don't know where it's at. I'm following whoever does know.
I mean, Is everyone ready? Anything else we need to do here? I'm talking to like our group.
What color's the uniform of the guards, soldiers?
I think I described them last time, silver and blue. With
Hey, Sid,
red, red checker marks.
Sid, you okay?
A little foggy, but if I remember right, we're trying to find their den and getting in quietly, right?
Yeah. Did you not get a good enough sleep last night? I mean, we talked about it right before we went to bed.
I slept.
Did you hit your head on the way down? I know we
don't
blacked out for a little bit. Did you hit your
think
head?
I did. I don't think I did. I don't remember.
All I'm saying is you were acting a little terse earlier. I think for a good reason. It was just unexpected from you. But as long as you're feeling all right, I'm good.
I think I'm all right. Maybe we just need to get this over with and get back.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I apologize. I shouldn't have used the word terse. That's completely out of character.
I was going to compliment you on that, John.
Well, it's not a very big word, so.
It's not.
It's only 5 letters.
I'm only allowed to use that word incorrectly. And back to Kin's character. Anyway, Sid, you just rest up. If you need something, you let me know.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you.
Everyone else ready to go? DX, you good? Millie?
Yeah, I'm good.
Millie's attempting to chalk her miniature knight to look like the Misfits.
Oh, that's cute.
Fifi, you fine?
I'm well.
All right. And Sherwin. Sherwin, I want to make sure you stick close as we walk. I mean, again, we're here to protect you. Something were to happen to you, man, I'd break my word, and that'd be almost as bad as you dying.
I don't know. You had me a little bit worried on the airship. I thought they were going to throw me out of the ship for something.
No. I was gonna carry you and jump out of the airship. You know, when you're falling, if you jump right at the very end, you'll be fine.
I'm going to walk with Sid for now, Mal. Thank you.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Yeah, he seems a little tired today. Maybe you can perk him up.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. You just go right on ahead. Lead the way.
Thank you. I think the group's finally starting to really get along. This is great.
Millie, do you have something?
Not at the moment. Waiting until
You've been moving. You guys are on your way to Thulgrid Float. These conversations have been happening en route.
Then Millie's gonna wait for Sid to be seemingly not in conversation with anyone, and then subtly hand him the chalkboard so she doesn't have to present it to people.
He looks like you just slapped him in the face. And I don't think that's a story for now.
What's that? Story time? I love stories. They make walking go so much faster.
His eyes just big as saucers at this point.
Sid, are you feeling all right? You look a little pale.
Eyes as big as Tensor's floating disk.
That's a name that's... I'll... You're gonna have to give me a little bit to process that. And I will try to explain what I can when I can.
I think that's actually a perfect spot for us to stop. It's 10 p.m.
Oh, well. Time flies.
That went real fast for me tonight, guys. I don't know about you.
Wow.
I also expected that whole airship thing to go faster than it did. But you guys had really cool ideas. All right. I feel like a lot happened, even though not a lot happened. But good job this week. See you all next week. Same bat place, same bat channel.
Yeah, great session. Great job crashing in the airship.